I see 18-1. I've seen it higher in some spots. Here's the issue. What if they go like 3-0? Now they're like 6 and they're the favorites to win this.
100%.
If they beat the Rams in week 3 to go 3-0, people are like, oh my God, the Broncos.
So can I tell you guys something? The Broncos, for the whole division, it's a gauntlet schedule because of the division, and they all play the West, like we spoke about yesterday when talking about the NFC West. So they've all got it tough. The Broncos got such advantages on the goddamn edges. They won the division, and their crossovers are easier than the Chargers, who came in second because Pittsburgh won the goddamn division. Okay? Like, god damn it.
At Mayo Experience.
This is the main event of the Pat Mayo Experience preseason NFL content, the AFC win total show. We've already done the NFC. You can hit the description. You can find that. You sub to Mayo Media Network. You're going to strap yourself in. We've cleared out the entire day to make sure this goes on as long as possible. Not only that, Feinberg's in studio with us, and sitting on the very end, also in studio, is the coin. Also, Tim and Cust.
Tim and Cust.
I don't like that coin.
He's over here with me.
I don't like him.
He has a restraining order of you of 8 feet. So you might have to come and sit in the cut corner here for a while if you get a bit too close to the coin. It doesn't like your vibes.
I don't like that coin.
We had we filmed a YouTube golf segment yesterday. Two sets of 9 holes. I don't know how the first 9 holes is going to be entertaining content. The final 9 holes were all like kind of tired.
Yeah, it's like watching like the U.S. Open. The last 9 holes were like, I guess. Go ahead and swing. Yeah, all right.
I would like to say, as we're about to record the American Football Conference show, that I had an absolute ball yesterday.
It was fun.
In totality, waking up this morning and reflecting on the day for which we record a very long NFC preview and then go play 18 holes. I mean, you could call it, it was a full day. We could dispute work day, but it was just absolutely glorious.
People won't be able to see the content until it's finished. That's probably going to be somewhere around Christmas time, the start of golf season, to make sure that we get this right. But as a tease, can you tell people your status of nerves on the first few holes?
I was very nervous. Like
Chargers playoff nervous.
It was a different kind of nervous.
Okay.
It was a different kind of nervous. And I'll just say, as a tease, I couldn't believe where I ended, essentially, based on where I started.
There's some good reaction shots of you and I, Cust.
Well,
watching him line up and being like,
I was starting to think, I think I have an empty paper bag in my golf bag. I might walk over there with it for him.
And I tried to simulate, even by
You brought me over on the range.
I tried to simulate situations on the range that would just create a little bit of pressure. Tim's on the other side. We haven't really interacted yet. I called him over. I now have someone watching.
You said this is something I do sometimes. I create an audience so I can simulate, live action. I was like, all right then.
And what happened?
And you just striped it.
Anyhow, we don't need to say anymore. It was a lovely day, but the fear of God was in me, and I don't even remember the next 30 minutes.
I mean, I remember the look in your eyes. It was like one of those guys who come back from war, hollow looks at me. You give
I must have been
I'm in a pretzel, to quote you.
I can't, I don't know if it can show on camera, it was a very hot day with the light, but I must have been white as a ghost 5 minutes into us starting.
Let's just say you weren't wearing a golf shirt that breathes particularly well by the look of it. It looked like a very heavy golf shirt.
No, it was fine. It was fine. I'll tell you why I chose that shirt, because of the shirts that I brought, it had the most effective popped collar, and that sun was there. I was feeling
in the sky.
Yeah, it was very much. I had to keep it off my neck.
We should almost do like a director's cut, like a voice
an audio
an
commentary.
audio commentary of the goal.
And I had a lot of fun. And after a while, as you had told me, just breathe, give it a little. In a few like sooner than later, you won't even know the cameras are there. It's just golf.
Yeah.
But until it's just golf, it's not golf.
Imagine this is what the guys on the major tours go through every single day.
No, they don't.
No.
I'm sure. I mean, that's
The camera is right next to them. On
Yeah, but
every shot.
but you said by the third hole it was fine. They do this every single time,
You did it for your second time.
Yeah.
and you were fine
You
on the
were
first tee.
probably exponential. Even if you weren't too nervous on the first one, you were like slightly nervous. For this one, you were probably exponentially more comfortable.
I wasn't nervous at all.
What about the
To
first
my
time?
point.
I wouldn't say I was nervous. I was more conscious of my surroundings.
Sir.
You have a hot mic on and you know you're being filmed, but I wouldn't say I was like anxious. Like I'm going to hit good shots or bad shots, irrespective of whether people are watching me. It's all me.
Cust is a on-camera player, though, as we found out.
Sometimes when the lights get brightest, some people
Listen,
shine.
all I know is it could have. There was a moment where like this thing could have gone one or two ways,
And it's best for all that it went the way that it did.
and I how do I put this? The boat was taking water.
And he's a captain, so take it from him. This analogy is,
The
spot
boat
on.
was taking on water, and whatever happened to get all that water out of the boat, that's
Yeah,
all.
a couple more bad shots, and it wouldn't have been a women and children first situation. It would have been Jeff overboard situation, every man for himself.
Well, we decided to ease into the AFC.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the AFC South because the NFC South may have gotten some short change on the NFC win total show because we had to get to the course to go play because we were going a bit long. So let's start with the Houston Texans. The Texans are plus 125 to win this division. Their over-under is 9.5, minus 150 to make the playoffs, 18-1 to win le Super Bowl, as they say en France. I get it, but this offense is already starting to get banged up. Jaden Higgins is already out for the season. They essentially have one receiver unless Tank Dell is miraculously fixed and back to what he was 2 years ago.
They don't have Will Fuller V anymore?
Now, Will Fuller V is no longer there. Maybe Will Fuller VI could be on the team. It's been so long since he was on that team. They pick up David Montgomery. The offensive line has signings. I don't know if it's any better. There's new faces. That's always nice when you have a terrible offensive line, so you just sign random dudes and hopefully it ends up working out well. The defense we know is good. What?
I was making an offensive line joke. It didn't land. I was too loud.
You can expand on that.
Signing random guys, you just hope it works out.
Yeah.
That's like, felt personal.
Well, you have two tackles coming back.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
You took that as a slight against you?
No, not
This is going to be a show, folks.
No, I didn't take that as a slight against me. It was like, that sounds familiar. I didn't take that as a slight. That's
What
all.
are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm already lost.
I'm
There's no
now,
slight. No slight.
I'm now
Bring it
less
back.
certain.
Let's get more water out of the boat. I gotta get water out of the boat. I'm starting this show as
You
bad
need
as
a
I started
personal
yesterday.
flotation device here at this point.
Sure, that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Hey.
Listen, today's gonna go fine. I might actually surprise some people.
Okay. Are you surprised that the Texans have become sort of an AFC darling here?
I'm not surprised because I think I said to you like a couple weeks ago, I had seen some advanced analytics experts say that their numbers suggested the Texans should be like the AFC favorite, if not like favorite in the division. So when I heard that, I was surprised. But having heard that already, I'm no longer surprised to see them as the favorite.
They took a ton of sharp money.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys that I know, Texans Super Bowl futures, very much in play.
Did you do any research into advanced analytics on how to hold a microphone? Because you could have spent your time doing that.
Stop yelling at me.
I don't even recall raising my voice. As he pointed out to you that Pizzola was in the studio and put on a clinic of how to hold a microphone.
Look.
He mic mogged you.
Okay.
I get the Super Bowl bet more so because we did the AFC South preview with Cam. He was all over the Texans plus 125 to win it's plus money. Got to take that. I don't know how good of I don't think they're that good, but in a playoff tournament scenario, they're a very scary team.
They're not.
It's because they could beat any team because they could have an outstanding defensive performance.
They've won the last 3 years the first round each time. And then when they played like legit teams the next round, they got themselves destroyed.
They
because
could
the
have-
quarterback isn't good enough.
They were good enough,
No.
in my opinion, to beat the Patriots.
If they had made the switch at halftime to the backup, yes, I think
So-
they could have beat them, but they didn't. They are limited with CJ Stroud, and their offenses are like the case is they have a marvelous defense, and maybe that defense doesn't regress, and they have a very good head coach, and they have a quarterback who a couple of years ago showed some real signs of being a top flight QB. The facts on the ground are this team is too dependent on a defense, and defense is too mercurial, and the quarterback doesn't have what it takes. He might be the worst quarterback in the division. He's no better than the third best quarterback in the division. I'm taking the under here. I would look to alt unders before I
But he's
consider
not
an over.
The quarterback isn't dead yet.
No, not
like,
yet.
I think we wouldn't be totally shocked if he played his way, not to what we thought he could be, but played his way up. Tim is essentially holding the line.
Responsible for CJ Stroud, which I don't know which side it is. Like if these new guys come in and they go from having a sieve offensive line to one that can give him an extra half second to throw, maybe CJ Stroud can be a whole lot better because we've seen quarterbacks. Excuse me. Long day at the course yesterday. Like Goff is going to be interesting to me if their offensive line starts to deteriorate a little bit, either through getting older, through injuries, and all of a sudden he's now a bit more under duress. Does Jared Goff go back to looking like the Jared Goff that still is in our minds from that like last stint at the Rams versus this one who's been part of a good offensive system with a lot of protection, can make the reads, have the time to do whatever.
Jared Goff, even then, was significantly better.
No, see, Jared Goff was. They had to pay a first-round pick penalty to
and
get
that team
rid of
got
him.
to the Super Bowl.
They did,
with him.
and they were able to protect him. I think that's the case. If you're going to make why the Texans can succeed and get to the Super Bowl, it's you give CJ Stroud a better offensive plan, you give him some protection, all of a sudden he's okay.
I couldn't be more under on this team.
So
Sorry.
Tim is holding the line from the end of the season, which is fair. And the sharps, or I don't want to say sharps, but a lot of like the analytics have let the end of last year breathe and are willing to trust this team.
This conversation probably took place at Bet Bash, and if you had been there, you could have contributed to the conversation.
No,
You could have got COVID like Pizzola did.
they're not talking about that. But my point being is when the season ended, you were like, when their season ended, you were disgusted with them. You're like, that's a good team. But
Troy
like they're-
Aikman spent the fourth quarter of the game just ripping on CJ
He
Stroud
did.
over and over. And you know what? Who knows a lot about that position? Troy Aikman.
So again, you were like holding to what you saw last, which is totally fair. And the analytics are sort of leaning to Pat's points in that he doesn't need to be a world beater. He just needs to be fine. They just need like a little bit of improvement on the line. This team can be fine. The short schism of a postseason tournament with that defense, even on the road in New England, we saw what it was capable of on the road in Pittsburgh. We saw what it was capable of. This defense, I don't even think there's a close second if we had to say the best unit in the conference.
Bill's offense is pretty good and has been good every year for the past 6 years.
I cannot besmirch the Bills' offense. The highest ranked unit in the entire conference to me is Texans D. And wait, it wasn't like lucky turnover numbers. It wasn't like outlier.
I mean, actually, the answer
Stop.
to that was Jet special teams.
Stop.
The greatest of all time.
It wasn't lucky turnovers. It wasn't outlier amazing performances. It was just goddamn domination. Full stop.
But herein lies the problem: is that defense is far less sticky than offense.
Even if they're awesome, and then they're sixth best.
That's the whole thing.
They don't win the division.
In order for them to succeed at the highest level, that defense needs to. So they need to be as dominant again, or even somehow improve. And it's all the same pieces. It's all the same coaches. The continuity makes that possible. But luck should just be against you. People figuring you out could just be against you. Guys who had a career year now are playing at the 90th percentile of their career year. It steps back a little bit. But that's also why I understand the Super Bowl number more than the division number, because I think they're going under. I don't think they're going to be that good. I see the path for them. But you're right. If they do possess that elite defense, they could go like those old Ravens teams in the playoffs where just no one can score against them. And then they win every game 17-10, and they're in the Super Bowl.
Even if the defense regresses, which is totally fair. We still agree their floor would be hyper high, but regression for that defense is in play. But what if you get like the slightest uptick in Stroud's brain? Like he doesn't make the worst interceptions, the worst decisions. Let's say he just removes his 3% of his worst decisions. That could offset the potential regression in the division.
Yes, I agree, but I just don't think it's going to
It's
happen.
also not a 1-year decline from Stroud. It's a 2-year decline from Stroud.
And, there was some jarring. He didn't end up in my quarterback, what do we call it, drama chart?
Yeah, the drama chart.
But he, wasn't really insult worthy per se on that level.
You
But
didn't want to punch down to CJ Stroud, is what you're saying. That's kind of the point of this under.
He walked into camp on the first day looking like a kid in the 8th grade, like going to school for the first day. Like he just looks so tiny and meek. And that's nothing. That's just like internet fodder vibes. But I did contemplate including him in my, on that long list.
I agree with Cust that, this could be a 13-4 team, but it could have the potential to be like a 6-11 team because when you rely on defense, if the offense, let's say, doesn't improve, and let's say they won a ton of games last year with the exact same formula, so they could get back to that level. But when you just hang on defense, you're susceptible to teams like the Titans and the Browns, where some of these good teams just aren't.
Honestly, David Montgomery's going to have like 1,700 rushing yards.
He's not going.
He's going to have to for this team to win 13 games. It's almost a mathematical certainty.
13's just a high level alt.
They didn't win the division last year. They're not that good on the offensive. Their offense is a problem. Their defense is great.
But we've seen teams like this can every few years cause damage in the playoffs.
This division
to very
is
good
not
teams.
nearly as easy as people think it is. There are 3 teams with 500 or better projected over-unders.
Yeah, there's
Not a terrible division.
it's an all right division.
And like the Titans are up and coming, or could be given. We'll get to them in a moment. Under.
It's an under for myself in the coin too.
I'm gonna, I guess, be alone. I may as well play the over, and I think one of the questions as like a hardcore NFL fan, like big picture, more macro zoom out questions for me in the entire league is Houston and the decision on what they do in terms of contract or not.
Well, we spoke about it with Bryce Young that giving him an extension would be like potentially franchise crippling.
I'm confident they won't. They have a bright analytics department.
But
They get forced into a corner. The point there.
It feels like the Texans are going to get forced into more of a corner because CJ Stroud won Rookie of the Year and looked so good in that first
And has
year.
won a playoff game in
And
all
but-
3 of his seasons.
All I'm saying is that the management there has seen there is potential
Yeah.
with him. No one's really listen. Bryce Young played well in the playoffs last year. There's never been a time in Bryce Young's entire career where people looked at him and, man, he's going to be really
No
good.
rookie quarterback
But
has
you're-
ever gone to the playoffs in their first 4 seasons and not gotten another contract.
You're fearful, obviously, and it's the fair example, and we used it yesterday with someone, and it'll be fair again, is that, they get forced into like the Tua extension here. And
I think Stroud's better than Tua.
But they're too
Tua led
good.
the league in passing.
They're too good where, Tua had those gaudy moments.
but then he didn't.
Yeah, I agree, but Tua had
Tua's peak is probably higher than his
Tua
peak.
had like 2.5. This is a short span. Your point of the peak. Tua might have had 3 weeks as like an MVP favorite or co-favorite.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's not going to
But
happen.
then he had
with
2
Stroud.
years of being terrible. You're
yeah.
like, we can't give this guy an extension.
Yeah,
but they did.
He can't extend a play. And the Texans' issue is going to be their floor is way too high to potentially get involved in doing it. The defense is too good to maybe say, let's onboard another rookie and start at
Until they get a pass rusher hurt.
right.
And
then
then what?
I don't know which sort of veteran is out there. I think it's silly to talk about it just now that I've verbalized it. Like, I don't know, Baker comes to mind as like a above average QB who's on a potentially way out. But
If this is the conversation you want to have, then there's
then it's
already
an
an
under.
under.
But
It's
this
already
is
an
a
under.
way bigger, like fascinating question to me than what Carolina decides to do.
Sure, because there is a scenario, I feel like, with the Texans that if the offensive line does improve and Stroud doesn't, that they can bring in, I don't know who it is, basically the Sam Darnold effect. That if you can find someone of like, plus or minus his tier to bring in, all of a sudden you turn into Seattle.
Yeah.
Because they're built a lot like Seattle.
They need a good
Imagine this team with Sam Darnold.
They would probably win the Super Bowl.
No, Sam Darnold wouldn't have any time to do anything because they don't have an offensive line.
Fair too.
Fair.
Jags are next up. They're plus 190. to win the division. We spent 15 minutes on the Texans. Didn't expect that. 9.5 is also their win total. Minus 110 to make the playoffs. 29 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. I was shocked at going back and looking at their metrics from last year, how good their defense was.
Top 10. Right?
I don't know if that's sustainable or not.
Doesn't need to be.
No, it doesn't, but you still need that offense to look more like it did in the last 8 weeks of the season than whatever the hell they were doing the first 8 weeks.
Which
of the
I think it will. Big over here.
So you're big on Parker Washington?
Parker Washington. I like the young running back that they have. They have Amir Abdullah as well. Trevor Lawrence is.
You say they have Amir Abdullah
who's
as
a
well?
fine second string running back, and they have the guy who I think will win the MVP.
So you're in on Trevi now.
This season, I think things are trending.
You have come a long way from, I'm glad we didn't get the first pick, so we didn't have to draft Trevor Lawrence.
We would have ruined him. Well, we just would have. Sorry. Been through this before. Big over. Alt overs. Number 1 seed potential. I love everything this Jaguars team has done. I think they look great. They have no weaknesses on either side of the football. They have a quarterback you can trust. They have skilled position players who can make big plays. They have, a couple of, the first overall pick from a couple of years ago on that defensive line. They have, had the good Josh Allen on the other side of this is just a really good team.
The Josh Allen who was so good, he had to change his name as not to be confused with the actually good Josh Allen.
I still refer to him as the good Josh Allen. Anyway, I don't see a hole on this Jaguars team. Their schedule is eminently gettable. I like this Jags team a lot.
I want to say luck factor last year. The luck factor rankings had them as one of the luckiest teams in the league last year. That's not to say
I
they're
can
not
certainly
good.
think
The
of a few.
turnover, I think they led the league in turnovers.
They did
by a pretty crazy margin.
But they took Buffalo toe to toe in that playoff.
I'm not smart enough. I should know the names, but I got my brain is telling me there was a lot of guys left and they didn't add much. Jared, is that you guys lost some free agents and didn't really bring anyone in?
Is Jared a Jags?
Jared loves Trevor Lawrence.
He just likes Trevor Lawrence
Because it was just Trevi guy.
Trevi guy, listen,
Did they get rid of Travis Etienne, which is addition by subtraction?
I'm not surprised at all to see that if you're going to tell me Trevor Lawrence is going to score an MVP vote or two this year, that is totally in.
I think
in
the
range
sky
of
is the
outcomes.
limit for Jacksonville this season.
Coming off earning MVP votes a year ago, Jacoby Myers, I'm reading this in real time. Obviously, the show is going to come out in a week, so we'll see how it goes. Hand in a brace after jamming it up in a preseason game.
It's okay.
I think it's interesting to see what they do with Travis Hunter. After they traded up for him, got all this draft capital, invested in him. I don't think he's going to be
the odd third down. He'll play wide receiver.
But if he can turn into a legit corner, then all of a sudden this defense could get better.
And I expect him to be actually a really good cornerback. And I like old school Deion Sanders. Give us 12 plays a game on offense. Give us 8 plays a game on offense. Maybe touch the ball on special teams a little bit.
They were 6-3 or 7-2 in one score games with an insane turnover margin. They led the league, I want to say, in second half turnovers too. The time of their turnovers, they were as a fan, they were sent from above.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? As
Yeah,
guys
I
who
do.
pace watching
Yeah.
watching the games.
Well, I know I've seen other teams get turnovers. I don't actually quite know what it's like.
So I don't, and they're just, and I'm certain the line is baking in regression, is baking in the fact.
It's only 9.5. I think I bet you the over is juiced if I had to guess.
Has to be because the whole world is coming in on the Texans.
Well, no, people like the Jags as well. People like both of these teams. And people have no time for the Colts or Titans. Well, it's a little bit for the Titans, no time for the Colts.
And I am excited. As much as I've maybe put a little cold water on your takes, I am pretty excited for Jaguars football. I'm excited for year 2 of Liam Cohen.
I think,
and see what comes of that. I do think the GM, though, might be under a little pressure.
I think it sets up for some Sunday Night Lives like you've never seen.
What does that mean?
If Emerson comes on this show when this Jags team is 7-1.
We got to get Emerson near week 1 so he can show off his collector's cup for the full
He has to
season.
go to a game first so he can get the cup for this year with the entire schedule printed on it.
I love a good. Yeah, you get free refills with those collector's cups. So
You
they're worth.
do.
Yeah, they're sometimes worth the price, and then they sit. I got.
Can you bring them back the next day? Next game? If you get free refills, can you bring them back?
You would
Did anybody question it?
You could. I have no doubts there are people who
It's like keeping the
put it
stamp
in
on your hand.
a bag.
Yeah.
Who bring the. But why don't you just bring back the collector's popcorn bucket too?
Why not?
You would probably bring back last year's bucket.
I don't
Do you
think
do that at the movie theater too? You bring your large bag back with you so you can get a free refill?
No, I don't. But
Why-
I have
why
no-
not?
But I think
but
the
I have no
movies
objection
mark
to this.
it. I think the movies
If you've
mark
already
your
gotten
bag.
your free refill, what if you didn't get your free refill on the bag?
I think you're entitled to it.
If you didn't get your free refill, then Tim would say that was just an egregious negative EV.
It was a
move.
very negative.
It's a
EV.
lot of it. You get a large popcorn and you're there by if you're the
You're
only,
right.
It's a lot of popcorn to eat.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll just put it out there. I'm a sucker like Emerson for the collector cups.
I am too.
For the collector buckets. The buckets actually like serve a purpose for, my kids use them. The cups are sort of like washroom cups for
Like toothbrushes.
toothbrushes and all of that for the kids. So I make use of the collector stuff.
So
Collector stuff is great. There should be more
I
collector
showed
stuff.
you off my World Cup
Ah,
collector.
you got the Grimace, and I didn't get the Grimace. I got every cup but Grimace.
But even when I went to the game, I got that had this.
That was so cool.
I showed him a collector's
That was
cup.
he went to the World Cup in Toronto and he got this cup and I was like, and it's got that date on it. Like you can't get that anywhere else. That is going to be worth a big chunk of change in 30 years' time. If it's in pristine shape, like if you put that in a Ziploc bag, you vacuum seal it, you put it in your attic where it's not too humid, like that thing is something that people are going to want. You are going to bequeath that. That's how valuable that's going to be. I'm not exaggerating. That is, you have the first cup of the first game that Canada ever and probably will ever play
cup.
in the World Cup. You have that.
I put
That's gold.
max value on that cup lifetime, maybe $3.20.
That is bananas.
Right around maybe what you paid for the drink.
Collectors are, and it's Coke branded, which is already significantly more valuable as a genre of collectibles.
because Coke collectors, like if I put it
Actually
on the
want that.
resale market,
Will-
that would attract Coca-Cola
in
collectors.
30 years' time, yes, it will.
Oh,
You'll be
you're
able to
dying.
plug into the AI cloud or whatever and close your eyes and just imagine the cup, and someone will give you, whatever.
You never see that.
I was trying to come up with like a phony word. And
when you try to use your vocabulary too well.
yeah.
Oh, like if someone had odds on first beep of the season, me or you.
Well, it seems like
No, you got to beep. Oh, this show comes out a day after the Cust,
You know what I mean?
and
So
you
it's-
got to beep in the Cust.
but it also seems like
That- the
the more
Custies-
beeps you get, the less likely people are to vote. So like
I
if I outpace you in beeps this year, you might win the vote.
I don't count the Custies as the season, as like this football season.
All right, so beep count is 1-1 so far.
So
Did
to
I get
me,
a beep yesterday?
I don't
Now you
just
got to
like
beep on the Welcome Back to Football show we did.
I don't just
Oh.
like the Jags over. I like alt over. Just like I didn't just like Texans under. I liked alt under
Okay.
You like alt under on the
on the Colts on the Texans. I like an alt under on the Texans, and I like an alt over on
How
on
low?
the Jaguars.
Like how low is the Texans floor to you?
7.5. If they went 7-10, I think it's totally within the realm of.
So it's a crazy league, yeah. I can't.
That's
I'm
only
not
two
gonna-
games on an alt.
I'm not dying on the hill of the Texans, but I am Texans.
If you were to throw cold water on the Jags to look at it from a pessimist perspective, I think you
and
could.
cats hate water.
I
so.
think you could point to, as Jeff said, they just had a lot of good fortune last year.
One
Yeah.
score games, turnovers, everything you'd want as a fan.
And I'm not saying that turns into bad luck this year, but just without the influence of a lot of good luck, some things change a little bit. If that happens early in the season, it can derail a season. Injuries could pop themselves up because Trevi's running more than usual. And we've seen him.
But that's part of the reason I like him that much more for
It is,
MVP.
but that
yeah,
also-
that's fair. It does bring into
It brings
play.
in that. If we're going to say that with Jaden Daniels, of like, man, this guy runs around too much, or Jackson Dart,
Yeah.
that these guys are going to the blue tent all the time. If all of a sudden he's not playing, they're not going to be very good. And they don't have a very good offensive line. And that always worries me when you're trying to project out a bunch of wins. It is overcomable, and it's not the Texans' offensive line,
No.
but it's still not good by any stretch.
I agree.
So there are things here, just general luck regression, injury, bad luck, and a key injury to Trevor Lawrence, an offensive line, and maybe, just maybe, the defense was not as good as it seemed last year. And we're getting caught up in.
I don't dispute any of those claims.
And
Those are all-
sometimes we do get caught up. Almost your case like against the Texans, where the last time you saw them, they just kind of looked pitiful. That there has been a long history of teams looking really good to end a season and be like, oh man, that team's really going to make a big leap next year. And they're just
The last time I
this
saw-
is Miami Dolphin syndrome.
I mean,
by
the last
way.
time I saw the Texans do anything of value was on Jeff's birthday when they threw for 2 deep passes early in the game against the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to take the under on the Jags.
The Chargers are a horrific match for the Texans.
Wow.
What about this Chargers team?
They'll still be a horrific match. They lost Mason Smith, Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, Devin Lloyd is a good player. That is a loss.
They lost a tackle, too, that I think signed with Carolina.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that
Walker, I think is. Oh, no, that was
Texas
the Packers.
Ranger?
That was the Packers.
Yeah.
Walker.
Do you think like Liam Cohen is or like any elite offensive mind is good enough to get over a below average offensive line?
Yes,
Yeah.
a below average, but not a disastrous
Do you think the
offensive
Jags are
line. There's
disastrous?
also, it's funny that you like the Jags so much because their doppelganger in the NFC is clearly the Bears, and you hate the Bears this year.
No, I think the Patriots and Bears are doppelgangers. I don't think that the Jags and Bears are.
I think the Jags are like a 1v1 match for the Bears.
I think the Patriots actually are.
Why?
Because of the
Right from
year-
the
because of
quarterback
ye-
all the way down. New coach, quarterback, like everything, all the
He's
way down.
speaking more of the timeline for when the quarterback entered the league and for when the coach onboarded with.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about how these two teams played a year ago and going into this year, what the expectation level should be. They're like the same.
You're both right, but I get what he's saying and I
Okay.
agree with him.
Because the Bears had a ton of good luck last year. They won all these close
Fun
games towards the
offensive,
end.
like, whiz kid
They
coach.
both hired these offensive
Quarterbacks
geniuses.
that are very mobile and can do a lot of off-script stuff.
Yeah, like number one picks, like they're supposed to be awesome quarterbacks, and we finally started to see that a little bit last year. It's just funny that you're so negative against one and so up on the other.
Well, fair enough. To me, the Patriots just seem like a much better comparison for all of that. But I take your
I don't, because the Patriots were a easy schedule merchant last year.
And they also had this quarterback who was the third pick in the draft, who
Sure.
ran a very innovative offense with Josh
But Mike
McDaniels, where they
Vrabel,
threw the ball
but
deeper.
the
than-
Vrabel Ben Johnson is less simpatico than
Liam Cohen Ben Johnson.
Sure.
In terms of like how this team might,
Yeah, I don't disagree
how
with
they
that.
go about winning the games.
But just in terms of just pure flukiness, I think the Patriots are a lot more fluky. As we'll see when we get to them soon.
I mean, the Patriots could be a lot better this year.
The
and be
Jags-
I think
games
there's
worse.
I think there's very little
And funny
chance
enough,
of that.
No, but I don't mean how their end result was.
I think
they
there's
could be a
very
much
little-
better team on the field.
I don't think so.
Something that I think is a double check mark for Pat is the in this comparison is how both teams were so lucky last year. The Bears and the Jags. I don't want to say the Bears were more rabbit out of the hat, but with like the close games, the breaks just going their way in the fourth quarter, what felt like week after week felt very similar.
And the one drawback against Liam Cohen here is we've seen with some of these guys, I mean, we saw it with Cliff Kingsbury 2 years ago. Obviously, he couldn't be stopped. They didn't punt for 6 straight games, and then a year and a half later, he's fired because everyone caught on to his offense. From Liam Cohen, we saw a great year taking over for Canales in Tampa Bay. He was able to continue with that offense and making it look good. He goes to this system, enhances it immediately. This is like year 3 of Liam Cohen. At least with Ben Johnson, we saw him do it in Detroit for a number of years. They paid an extra premium to keep him on that team, to keep him away from being a head coach, and it worked for them. He goes to the Bears, immediately has success. I have far more... I just think we know it's sustainable with Ben Johnson right now. Maybe eventually he gets bad and people figure him out. I'm not 100% there with Liam Cohen yet.
I think that is fair.
And Cohen has done more with less in both Tampa and in Jacksonville than Ben Johnson has done in Detroit and in Chicago.
I mean,
If I had to pick
They-
someone to call my
early-
offense, I'll take Liam Cohen.
Ben Johnson 3 years ago in Detroit, you're not saying that though.
I'm taking Liam Cohen, thank you.
they also go up against a bit better competition in the NFC North and in both South divisions.
Granted.
It's easier to make your offense look a
but
little bit
granted,
better.
I don't disagree. I mean, it's not 100%, but I'll take Cohen. I think he's a better coach.
Okay. So I'm under on the Jags. So is
Under.
the coin. You guys are both over.
Under.
Oh, you're under too.
Yeah.
You. Colts plus 350 with Daniel Jones coming off an Achilles. Seems like he's going to be okay. 8.5 is the over-under, plus 137 to make the playoffs. 50-1 to win the Super Bowl. I think if there's a bet to win this division, it's them.
I like the over here for them.
I like the over for
Not
them
that
too.
I don't think they win the division, but do I think they could be the last wild card team at 10-7? A lot of that team is still there. That started red hot last season, and the coach Steichen is still a very good offensive play caller. And as much as it was, it was a delight to me that the Jets got 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is still a very above-average cornerback who should be able to continue to help. He is. Is he the best cornerback in football anymore? No, he's not. But he's still really good. He'll help them. This team, I think, has got a better chance to win 9 or 10 games than it does to win 6 or 7.
It's a team that is built.
Daniel Jones is fine. I've seen quarterbacks come back from Achilles in 3 months. He can come back in 8 or 9 months. It doesn't bother me.
Who?
Rodgers came back to the active roster in 3.5 months.
Such a performative situation.
That's what you say.
Did he play?
He would have if they were in competition.
Oh, yeah.
But they weren't, so they preserved him.
Why are you giving him credit? You hate him.
I have.
Because he did that on the Jets. That's how good the Jets medical staff is, Jared.
My point is, I think he'll be okay. He's still youngish. He's not like the way
Kirk Cousins?
Cousins coming or Rodgers coming back, where like it was a severe debilitation in their play. I think he's going to be fine. This team still has a ton of offensive weapons.
No, they don't.
I know there were questions.
They do not have a ton of offense.
They have a fantastic tight end. They have a fantastic wide receiver.
Who's their fantastic wide receiver?
Well, I know he's like sort of Alex Pierce.
He might not play this year.
I think he is going to. I know they're being cagey with it. I think
Cagey with it, like he had a secret ankle surgery and now he can't practice.
I get that they're being cagey, and maybe he does miss the first 4 weeks, but he's going to play.
I mean, if you had to rank the wide receiver rooms of every team in the NFL, the Colts would probably be bottom 5.
I don't know if I agree with that.
The Texans are worse.
Yeah,
But at least
the Dolphins are.
But
worse.
at least they have Nico Collins, who's a legitimately awesome receiver. Who knows what Alec Pierce is? He's a deep threat guy.
I think he'll be fine. I think this Colts team will be fine. I think they're a real competitor for like the last wild card spot. I'm taking them over.
I think and I'm on this case, so I'm with you that I do think they go over the 8.5. I think it's because they're built well from the offensive line, the defensive line. Their defense is very solid, and you can just make up a lot of wins that way by not being wildly incompetent. If Daniel Jones is fine, not first 10 weeks Daniel Jones last year. If he's 70% of that and doesn't turn the ball over a ton, they're fine.
Agreed.
And I think that's good enough to win 8.5 games.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just, I can see why people don't like them. Because if Daniel Jones is hurt and like can't plant his foot or throw, then they're going to win 3 games.
Unless Shane Steichen was able to resurrect a 45-year-old last year to play respectably for a month. I actually think Steichen can figure it out.
Who are you talking to there on your phone?
You're getting yelled at about something. It's fine. I think the Colts.
Look,
I thought
don't
I was
bring
gonna,
anyone to the draft.
I thought
that's the fight.
I thought the Colts. I thought I was going to come on here and maybe be one of the have to defend them because of the stank that seems to be out there on them.
They lost like 9 straight games last year or something.
Well, what was the key deciding moment there? Who picked them to go to the Super Bowl? Then they didn't win again.
I don't know that there's a team in the league for me whose range of outcomes is actually wider. If you told me they're at 10.5 at the end, 10, like I can see how they get there. If it's over and they end up with 5, 6, I'm not totally shocked either.
Well, that's why I think that the division plus 350 bet is better than the plus 110 over 8.5 wins. They get over 8.5 wins and they're in that 10 range. They are live to win this division. That means that they beat the Texans. They beat the Jags somewhere along the line. And then you get triple your payout on it.
Yeah, I still would probably take the playoffs, though, because I don't think they're going to win the division.
Okay.
But I understand what you're saying.
It would be hard I think it would be very difficult for them to make the playoffs unless the Jags are like 15-2 and the Texans are 15-2.
As we'll see how far I have Jacksonville going. I have them going, with a lot
I feel
of
better
wins.
about this Jags under already. How about you hearing this? Jags Super Bowl winners over here.
Well, maybe. I got them going deep, put it that way.
So you like the over too?
I'm on over on the 8.5.
Okay.
Titans.
I'm scared about it though.
Yeah, you should be.
I mean, there's a lot of question marks.
And I'm really just playing against the vibes.
Yeah.
I'm zigging.
We're all over on the
I'm
Colts.
zagging on the vibes.
We all are.
Titans 10-1 to win the division. Their over-under is set at 6.5, 3-1 to make the playoffs, 150-1 to win the Super Bowl. I get why they should be better. What?
I'm such an under on this team this year.
Really?
They made me look like fools last season.
Maybe you shouldn't have taken them to win the division last
I'm
year.
so confused.
I
because
love the coaching hires that they made, but like
talking to you off air.
I
was anticipating
I love the
going way above on that.
I think you can tell a story of everything going just perfectly for them where they win 9, 10, 11 games. I think this team is dead.
This is a bet on Cam Ward. If you bet that Cam Ward is truly a number 1 pick and he is going to do what Caleb and May...
They haven't bolstered the offensive line.
No,
And he was terrible last year because they had no offensive line.
He was also terrible last year because he was straight up terrible.
So if he's not all that good to begin with, and he still doesn't have an offensive line, they've given him a receiver and the fourth pick, who's I think he could be a good player, but he's a total question mark. Saleh is a marvelous defensive coach. He has never proven himself capable of hiring good offensive coordinators or running that side of the ball in any way. Look, Daboll is one of the best quarterback developers in the NFL, but things crashed out in New York very terribly. Yes, there's a lot of reasons to think things could go well, but I'm just so personally agitated with this Titans team that I am obliged to say I do not see 7 wins on that schedule, and I'm taking the under.
I'm going to take the under, too.
And they're going to lose in week 1.
It has nothing to do
Say
with
that
my
right now.
personal vendetta
They are
against the Titans.
losing in week 1, and I am here for it.
Is this a casket match?
It's getting close. Because honestly, if we can win that game, week 2 becomes like a hinge game for the season.
This is like SummerSlam in Wembley, right?
Sure.
So which are the Jets the British Bulldog, or are you Bret Hart?
Bret Hart.
So he loses.
Yeah, I expect to lose.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't that contradict what you just said? You just said the Titans
I'm talking about the Green Bay game the next week.
Oh, okay. So I agree with some of your assessment on Daboll. I think obviously if he has a good experience here and develops Cam Ward, he's likely to get another head coaching job just on his track record.
Which I never understand.
Every quarterback,
Like, just make him a really high-paid offensive
Yeah,
coordinator.
there's like an ego thing
I get
there,
that, but
and
like,
a lot of guys would rather take another shot and fail than like be in the spot for which you think they're most comfortable.
No, I get that they want to do it. If I own a team, I'd be like, hey, I'll make you the highest-paid offensive coordinator. We're going to find another head coach.
And I give Tennessee credit here because my concerns about Daboll are kind of offset by Saleh. And what I say by that is the stories out of New York around like the culture for which existed there was pretty sad. You had a very veteran like defensive line who couldn't get like a 3rd overall pick to not.
Is that true? Or is that an alleged story?
Sorry,
Jeff?
I'm overblowing. But let's okay, we'll walk
Bad
that back.
choice of words.
Let's walk that back and say a highly paid defensive line with guys like Burns and
The Badiox.
like they had lots of guys there and who you think are highly paid and should be veterans, and there was no leadership on this team, and I put that on Daboll.
Here's what
I put that on Daboll. He is now in an operation that's run by Robert Saleh, who I fully trust in that leadership
I'm
role.
not convinced he is. I think there's like 2 head coaches running this team. I think it's 2 teams. There's a defensive team and there's an offensive team.
But you have no idea if that's true.
Well, I watched it unfold just like that in New York. And
maybe Saleh's learned something that you don't make friends with Saleh.
I see competing centers of power with this Titans team. And if it goes bad, it could get really bad.
Well, the defense should be improved. The defense should be
Yes,
pretty
it
good,
should.
just schematically and personnel-wise. I'm with you. Having such a bad offensive line and we did nothing, and we're all out of ideas, is not a great strategy for a quarterback who needs to make a leap. And I get that, like, getting someone like Wendell Robinson in is somewhat helpful to get some pressure off him. It's not helping the offense at all. Like, if you could utilize Tate and Ridley together, then all of a sudden you got something cooking here. But will you have enough time for Cam Ward to get the ball to them on a consistent enough basis to move the chains? Maybe. Like Cam Ward's best plays last year when he would just get flustered out of the pocket, roll left, roll right, throw back across his body, and Alec Aomanor is standing back there in the end of the... It's like, I don't know how he made that throw. I can see why he was the number 1 pick. But it's the other stuff in between that you just don't know. It's such an unknown with him. Like the first year of Caleb Williams, when he got put under pressure, he looked like a deer on ice, trying to dance through people. He just didn't know how to do it. He looked so much more composed last year. And part of that was bolstering their offensive line, that he just wasn't under constant harassment the entire time. If you don't get that time to develop with somewhat of a clean pocket, it's going to be tough to make a leap.
Yeah, well, I have grievances, and those are unfortunately unshakable.
So your grievance is their old head coach was your head coach?
No, it's that he picked them to win the division.
And that they embarrassed me. This Titans team embarrassed me last year. And
we
they
get
have
embarrassed by teams every week.
I picked them to win the division last season. And they We're
Hey,
the
listen,
worst team in football.
You also picked the Colts to go to the Super Bowl, and then they lost every game after. You
pick
didn't
the
hold it against them.
You also like hard flag planted that Sam Darnold was a guy, and the Vikings were making
I get some right.
a
I get
beyond
some wrong.
like an epic
Yeah.
miscalculation.
And I picked the Patriots to go really deep last year. I get things right.
Listen,
I
I
get things
want to
wrong.
air in your tires, Tim.
I'm
I
just
appreciate
saying,
your grievance.
and it's unshakable.
What is the ceiling? 8?
Yeah, that's the whole
So then
problem.
you're betting against like, okay, so you're trying to hit 7.
And they already
8
start the season with a loss, remember.
but they have a pretty manageable schedule, not just with this division, I feel.
Let's see. Their schedule, easy games that they have. They play the Raiders. They play all the teams. They play the Raiders, the Steelers, the Commanders, the Browns, the Giants, because they play the NFC East, and the Jets. Like, they have to win basically all those games and hope to steal some of the division. That's going to be tough for a team that wasn't very good last year.
I mean, I'd argue that their strength is that defensive line. They got a couple guys surrounding Simmons.
this
as well
offense could
that
be so bad they could end up with the number 1 pick again, too, though. Like, if they lose that game to the Browns, like, I don't think the Browns are going to be very
Why
good.
do you like? Okay, so you had a bad call. Why do you want something like more horrible?
Because he also doesn't want to see Salah turn around a shit franchise to be good because he couldn't do it with the
I
Jets.
forgot about that. But that's okay. Sure.
I have a lot of grievances that I'm bringing to bear here. So do with that, folks, what you will.
So there are the teams for which you own their first round pick, and then there's the Titans.
Yes, although I think the Colts are going to be a good.
Hold on, I forgot. On
He's
that
trying to
show,
curse the Colts.
On that show we did with Gary, and you had like the list of.
On the Tim
Can you
Anderson
remind
Football
me of
Power
the teams
Index. Yeah,
that are on your hate list this year?
Bears, Packers, even though I think they're going to be all right. The Colts, even though I think they're going to be all right.
But not. Oh yeah. Okay.
Everyone in the division. That's
Giants.
That's a
Giants
the,
are your most hated.
well after the 3 AFC East teams. The Giants.
Giants more than your draft pick teams.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Cowboys.
Would you rather the Giants have 3 wins or a team whose first round pick you own have 3
Oh,
wins?
if the Giants had 3 wins and face planted, that would be so glorious.
That's crazy.
That would be so
the
glorious.
fact that you would rather the Giants.
If they made Harbaugh one and done when they went 2-15 and they were bereft, and then my team was the toast of New York, and then Park Avenue has to eat the fact that they wouldn't put me on TV all year, but they put them on TV all year, well, then who'd be happy then? I would be.
Who's the second first round pick? Colts and who?
We have the Colts' first round pick and Dallas's first round pick. Now, I don't think Dallas is going to be very good.
You don't want them to be.
But
very
you
good.
would rather the Giants win 3 games than the Colts.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That is-
would be amazing.
Okay, that is for a word diabolical.
It's a real personal vendetta.
That is diabolical and really works against the whatever. There's no point.
Do you have anybody else on that list?
I think we went through the list on the last show. We can't go through over the list every
It's like
single
a
time.
third
No,
of
I
the-
think I might make a graphic and keep tabs.
It's like
As we go, yeah.
it's
I
a-
might actually each week make a 1 to 32 list for you
no. we
of my
can't.
Power Football Index, and you can just put it on the screen. We
What
don't have
about
to
just
talk
like the
about
bottom 5? You can consistently.
it.
update.
like the burn book.
So maybe for now, like I know
Why
you did it.
don't you have a segment called the Hateful 8? And you have your 8 teams that you hate, and then you can move teams in and out throughout the course
I
of the year.
think you have just come up with a
So
great
let's-
idea.
So let's
Start.
come up with the Hateful 8. Let's get your 8 teams that
Power
you hate
eight.
right now.
So, well, not power, but put them in there. Put all 3 divisional teams in there.
So New England, Miami, and Buffalo.
Put the Giants in there.
Giants,
Put the Bears in there.
the Bears.
Put the Texans in there. Put the Titans in there.
Why are the Texans
Well,
in
now
there?
these are just teams you think might be bad.
No,
It's
I don't
different
want to
than-
see do well.
Okay.
Are the Colts and Cowboys not there?
Yeah, let's round it out with the Colts and Cowboys.
Because you own their pick.
Yeah, let's round it out with
And
the
this
Colts
is
and
about
Cowboys.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
This isn't about like other.
Yeah, yeah. No,
the
let's
league
no,
narratives.
for me.
This is
Okay, so
you.
here's the issue. You have 9 teams in your Hateful 8 already.
Can I have, a tin pick and a copper pick?
So which would you like to move to a wild card 8 team?
Put the Texans as a wild.
Oh, they're first out.
Yeah,
They just missed.
let's give them the honorable mention.
Yeah.
Okay,
I love this. This is going to play this year.
I think so.
Division winners.
I'm not sure how much movement there's going to be.
But it also could help you. It could work against the votes because it will like force you to get angry.
Yeah,
And that's usually where like you could outshine me.
we'll see.
I got Indy winning the division.
Cop out, Houston.
I don't think it's a cop out. You pick them. I picked all the other teams to go under and one team to go over. So by the numbers, I have to pick one of these teams to win.
I'm taking the Cats.
Did I give my over-under on the Titans?
No. Under, I was guessing?
Yeah.
It sounded like it was an under.
Well, I don't think eight's a pipe dream, so I'll say no.
Remember how we were going to ease into this show?
Yeah, we did it. We spent an hour on the AFC South.
We got a lot more time today.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying
we don't have to rush out to get to a golf course
we didn't
today.
ease into this show.
NFL season means daily fantasy, betting, season-long fantasy, and 4 for 4 has the tools to get you that edge. Get their lineup optimizer, GPP and cash picks, ownership projections, and leverage scores, all for DFS, plus betting tools that cover props, sides, totals across the NFL, and more, plus a Discord. Get the data you need before you build a lineup or place a bet. Save 25% off on any subscription with promo code MAYO at 4for4.com/Mayo. Do it! I started taking creatine because I'm working out consistently, and if it's something I'm going to use every day, I want to know I'm actually getting the highest quality product. You should too. That's why I use, and you should, Momentous Signature Spec Creatine. Creatine's already one of the most researched supplements out there, supporting strength, power, lean muscle growth, recovery, and health. Even cognitive performance, which, in my elder age, I actually need at this point. But Momentous has taken the quality side to a whole nother level. Signature Spec Creatine is manufactured in a pharmaceutical facility using reverse osmosis water purification, and put through an expanded 6-stage testing process with 4 independent agencies. That means 10 times fewer impurities, tighter heavy metal limits, and plus PFAS and microplastic screening. All great stuff. And the ultra-fine powder actually mixes easily without those gritty clumps that you see those weirdos at the gym have, so it's simple for me to work it in to my everyday routine. That's the Momentous Standard. Try Momentous Signature Spec Creatine at livemomentous.com and use code PATMAYO for up to 35% off your entire first order. That's livemomentous.com, promo code PATMAYO for 35% off. AFC East.
Oh. 3 of the 8 members of the Hateful Eight
I would
reside
argue-
in this division.
I would argue we just did a great warm-up for the East.
Look, I got takes.
Yeah, we might have to go for lunch in between after this division. Go for lunch, come back and do the rest of the show. Bills.
Japanese golf style.
Bills are up first. They are minus 137 to win the division. You can get all of the odds at coolbet.com, by the way. If you hit the description, you can get yourself a bonus. Fastest payouts in the biz at coolbet.com. You just need to be in Canada and outside of Ontario or Alberta. Take advantage. But if you are, boy, does Coolbet have the goods for you. If you're outside of that, code Mayo and Underdog will also get you a huge bonus, both on prediction market and for the pick'em game. Over under 10.5 wins, minus 333 to make the playoffs, 10-1 to win the Super Bowl. I think the Bills are better this year than they were last year, so I will take them to go over. It's a pretty... They got all the good players that they used to have, and I think signing DJ Moore makes their offense far more viable. We'll see if he can stay healthy, but this is a big upgrade to this receiving core, and that's... Brendan Cooks was basically their best receiver for the final 6 games last year.
Yeah, and I love the decision to give Joe Brady the job and send McDermott, who was just not up to the task.
He was, and then he outstayed his welcome.
Send him
you
to the
got
curb.
to the top level with McDermott, and it's almost like the year that the Chargers went 14-2 and had to fire shot.
No, but I like that the guy they went with was the guy Josh was most comfortable with, who had been there with him for a while. They made him the head coach. He might be the piece that's missing. I mean, I hope Buffalo loses a ton of games. They're not going to. They're going to easily win the division. They're going to go over the win total. I don't see a ton of weaknesses with this team, other than apparently they've constructed the worst $2 billion stadium in the history of humanity.
That doesn't surprise me.
From what I read. Like,
have they torn down the old Ralph
yeah,
yet?
it's gone now.
Oh, it is?
People have sent like pictures like, oh no, it's gone and now we can't go back.
Yeah,
We've burnt our bridges.
They play week 1 at the new stadium. Everyone hates the stadium, so they just move back to the old Ralph.
Yeah,
That would be hilarious.
I want to say they play week 2 on Thursday
they
at
do.
the new stadium versus Detroit to open it. And then I go there week 3. The most expensive ticket in the league, the Buffalo Bills.
Is that now? That's also like new stadium stuff. Like people are jazzed to go. Like if there was a year that I was going to go back to go see a Buffalo game, it would be this year at a new stadium. Well, the stadium is still nice. Like 2 years from now, it's not going to be the most expensive ticket. And I can assure you, when Josh Allen's not there, it's not going to be the most expensive ticket
Of course,
anymore.
but we're talking about in the moment. But I would like to say over the past couple years, even at the Ralph, the Bills tickets were like skyrocketing. Like I got a buddy, his family, they do like every year, they do like a family fun day at the Ralph. They get like a whole row of bleachers.
It's not a family atmosphere.
We call it family fun day. It's just
Tim was taken aback by the guy chugging Bailey's.
Funneling.
Yeah, he was funneling it.
Funneling Bailey's. He did not do well after that.
And
I will note.
over the last few years, it's been nearly like impossible to secure the tickets for which they always were able to secure. As you know, Allen in this team, and it is like the lifeblood of the city. I'm actually quite sad, and you guys will get to end the bit. We'll get to end the bit. Week 3, I'm taking my nephew.
About time.
We'll get to end the bit.
It's about time.
And it's a shame in some ways that like I'll have to explain to him at that pile of rubble over there, like what the Ralph was.
Will he be
that,
wearing
like,
a half Josh Allen, half Justin Herbert jersey?
No.
They are his favorite team, so.
He's no. And it's a shame to have to like explain to a 10-year-old Ralph Wilson Stadium and the beloved shithole that it was.
Well, let's not pretend like it wasn't a shithole, though. It was.
It was a beloved shithole. It was our shithole. It was, as you went across this league and everything was new, there was a period of time, many years it felt like, where this shithole stood.
You're not thinking about getting rid of the dank, are you?
Yeah. But Mo, the dank.
The dank.
And the stuff that my memories
Are hazy from there.
they're hazy, but they're some of like the most vivid memories of my life. Like the shit you saw there as a 12-year-old boy. I had a football whipped at my head wearing a Junior Seau jersey walking through the parking lot.
Are you going to go incognito in week 3, or are you going to be rocking your Natrone Means throwback?
Though everyone will be geared up, I'm really not afraid of them anymore.
They don't have as much to be as I mean, yes,
They're
they
not
haven't got to the
angry.
Super Bowl.
They're not
like there was like with the year that we went and we bought 50-yard line tickets, 5 rows up for $10 a piece to see the 0-6 Buffalo Bills take on the 0-7 Detroit Lions. That they were a bit testier back then.
I'll put it this
If you
way.
walked in a Mahomes jersey, they'd be upset.
I'll put it this way. Maybe, because you're right. I'll put it this way, though. I have no fear. Maybe someone will say something in a parking lot. I'm taking my 10-year-old daughter to her first ever game. But I don't have my tickets yet. But in for which the 3 area seating options I might consider paying a fortune for,
Why don't you get a box?
no one is going to be calling
Exactly.
my wife a whore like they did a few years ago.
You know
In her
what?
Eric Weddle t-shirt.
I know.
So this is like the Ryder Cup?
It
Level
used to
of
be.
like
No,
viciousness?
Now it is, but now it feels like I will be saddened when no one is calling my wife a whore. When no one
Clip that, write that time down.
No.
That's the cold open. That's the cold open.
no, I already have the cold open.
By that I mean I will be a little saddened to go to this new stadium that will just be too nice. The people for which I interacted with in a past life at that place
Don't deserve nice things.
will not be in this place. And as much as like in the moment, it sucks to have insults hurled at you, it was very much part of the experience and something in funny ways cherished is a strong word, but it is just a life memory. Going to that fucking shithole, everything that comes with it. My buddy trying to walk in, he's talking shit going into the gate. Security tells him he's not coming in. It's like, what do you mean I'm not coming in? You're not coming in. I'm coming in. You know where he went next? Head to the concrete. We picked him up in a jail after the game. He had a baseball-sized welt on his forehead.
He was warned.
Do you know who else was at the game? Separate from us, his dad. We
He
couldn't.
was also in prison.
We couldn't find him.
You'll have to pick up your older,
Older,
fatter son.
I love that place, and I think they know like a bit of its guide.
Well, I think what you're speaking to on more of a macro level here is that Buffalo was actually one of like the last blue collar fan experiences that you could have in the NFL. With all these new stadiums, the prices going up everywhere. We're seeing this like Kansas City's new stadium very much the same way that it's been the same people going. It happened in Foxborough, like when Foxborough first came in. Now it's kind of gone back to that a little bit, but when you start getting priced out, you lose what made the fan culture to begin with. It becomes more corporate. And I mean, take a look at Maple Leafs games versus, we were talking about this yesterday, in Toronto, Maple Leafs games versus Raptors and Blue Jays games. You get real fans at two of those teams. You get some guy in a suit who's working on investments on his phone the entire time on the other one. And it kills the atmosphere a lot of the time.
One of my first jobs, we joke much about my life and working with like Gabe and Cam as an intern. One of my first assignments on Monday morning for them for the show was essentially, this was like at Deadspin's heyday, was essentially to get to Deadspin and give them all of the videos and articles on a Monday after a Bills game at the Ralph. Deadspin would have like an article that had just what people saw. Guys finger banging a girl, cocaine, like all of it. I'm not kidding.
I mean, we could walk out the door right now. That stuff's probably going on across the street.
But I'm not kidding. There's like people feel like this guy like 3 rows in front of me is like finger banging this girl. You look over here. There's dudes like doing cocaine. This was real. There's videos of it.
Can I just say, I'm glad we're past those days. If I have to choose between that fan experience and
You're
a
right.
corporate
It's
fan
different.
experience, I'm choosing the corporate fan
I
experience.
don't know. I still remember.
Give me my $19 nachos.
I went to an XFL game the first time around in the XFL.
But consider the type of fan base who's going to go to the XFL.
Look, I went to an Orlando Rage home game against the San Francisco Demons at the Orange Bowl when I was down in Florida. We were there on vacation, and half the I think it was
Citrus Bowl.
Citrus Bowl, yeah, in Orlando. The week 2 of XFL. And there was still like a decent amount of people. There was like probably 20,000 people at the game. Half our section got kicked out because there was a brawl going on. People were putting cigarette butts out on each other. I still remember. I was like 10 years old.
They started the games with a run to
It was
get
awesome.
the ball first. People were
awesome.
getting injured. There's no way Jared even knows what the XFL is.
Well, it still exists.
No, not like it used to.
No, not like it used. They had the
You don't
best-
have Jerry the King Lawler calling games from the sidelines.
Yeah, but the original XFL ball is still
That
my
black and red
favorite
ball, yeah.
ball. It had like this gel in it to make it stickier for your hands. For us, some smaller-handed quarterbacks,
It's the opposite of the CFL ball.
what the hell is that guy's name? He had Carney type hands.
Beck?
Beck, yeah. What's his first name?
John Beck.
John Beck. Played him in fantasy one week. Got hurt on the first play.
The first time I went to the Ralph ever, it was a Bills Detroit Lions game. It's a vivid
Just like
memory.
us?
Bruce Smith safety Barry Sanders. You see that as a boy, you never forget it. You never forget it.
Okay.
But you know what else I'll never forget from that day? It's the first time I've ever seen like it. And it had me fixated. Your head is on a swivel. Everywhere you looked are the security neon vests running, like 8 of them running somewhere there. 8 of them running somewhere there. 8 of them running somewhere there. It was intoxicating.
This is not glamorous. I'm glad we're past these
But
days.
I
I
like
will-
how none of us are Bills fans either.
But I will just say that it was Ralph Wilson is part of my origin story to being obsessed with the NFL. So it did something.
Okay.
It did something. And
Well, it
yeah,
makes
we're
me
not
happy
Bills
they
fans. We make everyone who in Toronto makes a decision. You're either a Bills fan or you chart your own path.
Over on the Bills. Oh, Jets legend Jim Leonard is their defensive coordinator.
He is. Yeah, over on the Bills.
Shit. We wasted a lot of time there. I do not love that they let the star player pick the coach.
Yeah, I
I
don't
usually
think it's
wouldn't,
great.
but I think in this case it's a
Maybe
good
you're
idea.
right. Maybe you're right. Maybe they felt they had no other choice.
They owe him
I
that.
just don't like the potential trickle down that can have.
It means they wear it now. Allen will wear it just as much
I mean,
as
he wears
Brady
it.
will wear
He
it.
wears
He
it all.
wears
No,
it.
McDermott was a heat shield for this.
Yeah.
And him getting fired last year was evidence of this.
You know what? I'll give him a little. I mean, McDermott was a heat shield. I don't know. Like, yeah, Josh maybe gets. Like
He's
a
out of
couple
excuses now.
free
If I were the Bills
passes.
front office too, I'd be like, okay, you're out of excuses now. Like, it's,
What are you going to do? Cut Josh
no,
Allen?
but we're putting it all on you. We're putting all of our trust on you.
I like the upgrade of getting Bradley Chubb over Joey Bosa. And Bosa was pretty good for them last year.
When he played.
He played a ton. I think he played every game last year, didn't he?
It's not the Bosa I know.
But they were bringing him in on second and third downs and passing
It's
situations.
a very good team. There are next to no holes.
Their defense could always be better. They have, but almost like the antithesis of a lot of these teams that we've talked about so far. Their offensive line is good.
Yeah.
It's very helpful.
I hate to say anything nice about a Hateful Eight, but they're going to win the division. It's going to be a romp.
How about the Patriots?
It'll be over by Thanksgiving.
Patriots are plus 125 to win the division. 9.5 is the over-under. Minus 170 are their odds to make the playoffs. 18-1 to win the Super Bowl. They're probably like 9-1 to get back to the Super Bowl. It's what? You're giving me a weird look.
I'm not.
I didn't give you. I'm over on the Bills.
Oh, yeah, I figured. Yeah. Why are you giving me that look?
I'm not.
Are you is it because he talked about when you're hated teams?
Is it because I read the Patriots odds and it triggered you?
I don't want to tease too much, but I would just say Tim gave mean mugged us on the golf course yesterday after he did something awesome.
That was fun.
He mean mugged us.
Yeah, that was fun.
You were really feeling yourself on that.
No doubt about that. Guilty as charged.
And you just mean mugged Pat across the table.
This is a trash team.
It's not
Everything they have gotten better with Dobbs. I signing AJ Brown. I don't see that.
Getting a top 15 receiver in the league. Bad idea.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
So great, Philadelphia couldn't have been more delighted to get him.
But they
out
also
of town.
used him to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
You remember that, right? It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, and he was so important to them. They said, "Get out, leave, and don't come back."
Never happened with a receiver before.
Yeah,
We've never seen that. We've
Never
never seen a guy
that.
get shoot off to the Patriots.
I'm sure this head coach was definitely has the respect of every single person in the room.
See, this is a
will
point
be
that
able to,
That's
bring
that
everyone in line.
happened for it's old news now.
I also
That's the
can't
thing.
imagine a scenario where football players could care less than what Mike Vrabel did. Honestly,
So that
why would the players give a fuck what he's up to?
they don't. But where it can become an issue, and let's be fair and balanced here,
Yes.
is hypothetically, let's say from low tier to mid tier to high end Patriot gets involved in something. When like no distractions is like literally number one in Patriot land. You can then sort of seem hypocritical when you're addressing the team or talking to the team or maybe trying to get something else in line. No one is like mad. No football player's mad for you finding a warm spot somewhere else.
He just has no credibility when he stands
I
when he struts around like the cock
I
of the
still
walk and
completely
pretends
disagree.
like
I mean, you also
it's
don't know
all
what it's like inside that locker room. I think this works as a very good shield for them
Great.
if they start out slow.
and they will because they're not that good. Drake May,
This gives Drake May protection. It gives the AJ Brown stuff protection. Like if it goes poorly,
week 4, he'll be strutting around the sidelines in week 4, screaming at Drake May.
sure, he might be.
This team, and I'm happy to say this. This is a recipe for disaster.
Maybe
This is a team that went worst to first that could easily go first to worst.
this is the
You
difference.
think they're
though.
going to be worse than the Dolphins? Do you?
No, I don't actually. I
the,
don't.
The personnel got better.
Yeah.
Yes,
The team on paper is better. Than
they
it was last year.
overachieved last year. No one is debating it. No one. That's not the argument. But I would make the case this team is actually the example of the team that will potentially be better, but win less games. But we all know that they're actually better than the previous version. I'm quite bullish. People just automatically predicting a decline because the coach, because the schedule's harder. Like, sure, those are fair points. I think it's baked in here. I think this 9.5, I'm excited to say over. I would argue, well, I might lean the Bills. I don't think the odds discrepancy is as close as it should be for where I think it is.
Also, teams that lose in the Super Bowl kind of crash out the next season.
That is historically true, and you have
there's
predicted a Chiefs down year after a Super Bowl
And
loss, and we
everything
mocked you
spiraled.
for it. So
You know how you remember his good calls to put air in your tires,
he'll
but he never does that for you.
Literally never. But that's part
You
of the
brought up
game.
like 4 good calls. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm putting air in your
I
tires."
appreciate it.
And Jeff's just remember when you were wrong.
No, I'm not. Listen, he'll remind me. I'm sure.
Boy, he's a main character.
I am not.
He doesn't. It's not that he doesn't want to give you credit for your good calls. It's that he can't remember because he wasn't listening.
That's not true. You make right calls. You were right about the Chargers last season. You were.
I was as right as I think I've ever
You've been right about Sam Darnold for as long as I can remember.
Well, that's
That's
not
not
true. That's
true.
not true.
That you always saw what he could be, and you always saw
Getting
that.
credit-
not-
Getting credit for being on a Sam Darnold train for 11 years and he was good for 2.
I
It paid off.
appreciate the credit you'll give me if Tommy Fleetwood ever won a major.
Well, yeah.
For saying like
Yeah.
12 years later, like yeah, you got
I
it.
will back up the credit truck, and you'll get it.
Thanks, man.
I think the Patriots are better and are going to perform worse.
Trash.
Like versus
Trash.
wins.
Under.
I think they're a playoff team. The offensive line's like okay, should be fine. Better receivers, better defense. Yeah, give me the over.
I think it's going to be an exciting battle between them, and
This season gets off the rails if they lose week 2.
one of your great calls.
Particularly since they're going to lose in week 1,
Well, yeah, I think they're going to lose in week 1.
I can't believe you haven't brought up what I said last year
which was.
about you and the Patriots. Your preseason call.
Yeah, and how unserious I was about football, and like I let the results speak for themselves.
but
Let the people judge.
But I would say when it came to the time where they actually played in week like 5,
I picked the Patriots and said it's a hinge game, and they won it.
they did.
And I said that everything depended upon that game, and it did.
Did
Everything
you say
depended.
you let the results speak for themselves?
Fortunately,
That is so untrue.
despite being a
I
despite
also
being
cashed out on my credit a little early at the end of the year because like they were 2 games up
were
with 2
true,
games
yeah.
to go. So I chose the early cash out option of 95% credit.
You did. I'll give you
And
credit.
I reserve the right to do that.
I'll give you credit.
I like them over 9.5. Like if they lose week 2 to the Steelers, they could start 0-4, and then the whole season is off to a terrible start here. Then at the Seahawks, home Steelers. I'm not asking for your fucking opinion on this. I'm telling the audience.
Maybe I'll just put my microphone down then.
Jesus Christ.
You're lucky I'm not like my son who was throwing shit around the house this morning when he was getting mad. I put this coin right between your fucking eyes is what I feel like doing.
Then I'd have to have a restraining order against the coin.
Yeah, it would still go against you, actually.
Oh, would it? Even though I haven't moved.
Yeah, that's actually how it works. If you're standing in a spot and the person that you're stalking ends up closer to you, it's on you.
You're stalking.
But Seahawks, Steelers, Jags, and Bills the first 4 weeks. Like that could be, if you beat the Steelers, that's a 1-3 start. Then it goes Raiders, Jets, Bears, Dolphins. Like you can get back on track if you start 1-3. But that 0-4 would be like, ooh.
I do not believe the Patriots are returning to the Super Bowl. I'd be quite surprised. I do believe they're being quite undersold heading into the season, though.
In terms of what? As being like a legit Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, like they're
down.
they're
They got there on smoke and mirrors last. They had to play Jared Stidham to get to the Super Bowl. They're not the first team to have to do something like that, but their path got cleared out really easily for them.
relative to the prices in the market. I feel like they're actually not getting enough respect.
Their left tackle is a turnstile.
Like, okay, so let me ask you.
That's a situation, a fair situation to monitor.
What team do you think has a better chance to win the Super Bowl this year? The Texans or the Patriots? To win the Super Bowl.
If you're asking me right now, in terms of filling out the bracket that I did in my brain in your guest room last night, I have the Texans going further.
And they have the same odds to win the Super Bowl. So they can't be that undervalued.
Okay, that's a fair counter and bringing me closer to reality than my perception. Thank you.
Now, I would actually say the Patriots have a better chance to win the Super Bowl because they have a guy who might be the best player in the
And
league.
they just went to the Super Bowl.
But no, just throw that to the side. If Drake May is the MVP this year, having an MVP quarterback can erase a lot of problems that you have.
Yeah.
And I think that's the bull case for the Patriots is that Drake May is just awesome.
Elite, you're one of like these 8 teams with like a quarterback who can win the Super Bowl.
Or not a quarterback that
let's
can
hope
win
not.
the Super Bowl.
Let's hope not.
A quarterback that can care. Like, there's a different tier, I think, of. Are you guys?
We're having a
You guys-
private conversation.
Should I turn off my mic? You guys can just continue.
I was listening to you. He mumbled, "Let's hope not," under his breath and made like a face of like pure disgust. And I was just staring at his face. I wasn't talking to him. I was. I didn't respond. I just stared at you.
There's a different class of quarterbacks that I think that we would put in there because we've seen this happen enough times now. There's more quarterbacks than we always say that can win the Super Bowl. but there's only a certain class of quarterbacks that can win you the Super Bowl, if that makes any sense.
Agreed.
And he might be one of those guys.
So you're just labeling it as there's a handful of quarterbacks who can win the Super Bowl is exponentially larger than the handful of quarterbacks that can win MVP.
that can carry you to
That could be the chief reason you win.
like,
the Super
for
Bowl.
example, to give Sam Darnold his flowers, like he is a part of that tier, obviously, of a quarterback that can win the Super Bowl. I don't think that anyone would sign Sam Darnold and be like, this guy's going to win us the Super Bowl.
Agreed. I know. I understand the distinction.
Like, he's not carrying you to the Super Bowl. He is a quarterback in a situation that is good enough to win a Super Bowl. And that's the bet on CJ Stroud the Texans are probably going to end up doing, and they're probably wrong.
Yeah.
Could they
I'm glad we're talking about the Texans again because you only spent 35 minutes on them at the start of the
I
show.
think they're a really fascinating team.
Evidently, I mean,
And the worst part is they're a really boring team.
very boring. Like
they're going to have to pay.
They're not even going to be on our
Stroud
screen week
more
one.
than the contract Darnold got a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be on our auxiliary screen week 1.
It's true.
Watch that game.
So, Patriots over for me, over for the coin, over for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
And way over, alt over for you.
Yeah, under. Thank you.
The Jets,
All right.
15-1 to win the division. 5.5 is their over-under. Plus 675 to win, or to make the playoffs. 250 to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no.
Invest your $25 now.
No.
$100? $100 to win $25K on the Jets? Buy a lot of champagne to pop with that. They're better than last year, I think. Although this Omar Cooper guy seems like he's a disaster.
Who knows? It's way too early.
I'm sorry. Whenever the Jets do anything well in practice, I get a text from you about, look at this. See how awesome they are? But it's weird that when all the negative stuff comes out, that stuff's not to be believed.
I didn't say it's not to be believed. I said I just don't know yet. No.
But you know when the reports say it's good.
What I'll say is this team is really talented at a lot of positions, but holds two big, terrible spots at quarterback and head coach, which until they can unless those make exponential improvements or there are replacements in place, that severely hamstrings where the team can go. I'm going to go over. I think this team can win 7-8 games.
Well, you had them at 13 wins as of 3 weeks
I don't
ago.
see that. I don't see that. But the thing is, they don't have a game. I think they're certainly to lose until like November. That doesn't mean they're going to win all those games. I think there's a lot of losses to be had there. But there's just it's coin flip, in my opinion, just like close to coin flip after coin flip game, or even like 60-40, and like you still got an excellent chance to win. But like week 1 against the Titans, I think we're in good shape there. Week 2, the Packers could very well be coming off a loss versus the Vikings, and still don't have Micah Parsons. Boom, we're 2-0. Then things begin to happen. Like the schedule begins to open up for itself.
Yeah, you got Lions, Bears, Browns, Patriots, Dolphins, Raiders.
Yeah.
Now we're sitting at like 8-0.
We have really good pass. Will McDonald is one of the very best pass rushers in football that no one talks about. They have a great.
I like how you had to qualify.
That's
that
true
with-
because they don't talk. But he's
Yeah, because no one talks about it because he's not actually one of the best pass rushers. in
a
football.
marvelous pass rusher. They have two, in my opinion, two top 15 caliber running backs in Braylon Allen and in Breece Hall. They have Garrett Wilson, who's a top 5 receiver.
Top 5
They have, A.D. Mitchell, for if he can figure out some of the drop problem. A.D. Mitchell's an excellent receiver.
An excellent
I think
receiver,
Omar
good catch.
Cooper's going to be just fine. Sadiq jumps over people to get into the end zone for touchdowns.
Is he even going to be ready for week 1?
From everything I hear, yes.
Didn't you call him Antonio Gates or something?
Mixed with Kelsey.
The type of he's a very special and young player. He's like 21. He's a very special player.
Developmental a bit.
A bit, but like he could develop into like a player who revolutionizes the tight end position with his skill set. Not to say it's going to happen, but he could. They have good offensive line pieces. They have good pass rushers. The secondary is still a problem. Of course, they didn't get a single interception last season. But look, you want to talk about bad luck and everything going, in Jacksonville's favor and in Chicago's favor and in the Patriots' favor. Well, my gracious, everything went against the Jets in terms of like turnover luck and fumble luck and bad luck in that sense. So like there's 3 wins just based on the likelihood of regression, positive regression. So this Jets team can absolutely make the playoffs if they can get top 17 quarterback performance out of Geno Smith.
Well, not only that, he is called Klubnik, a hypothetical Hall of Famer with the skill set mixed between Steve Young and Patrick Mahomes.
I stand by that. His
Your quarterback, the backup?
the guy from
From Clemson.
Fantastic. he seems to pass every single test. in
Except
camp,
for
on
Clemson
film.
fans telling you he's no good.
Whatever. They're just frustrated that he didn't win a national championship the way the last couple of Clemson quarterbacks have won national championships. Their sour grapes don't interest me. What does interest me is the fact that he seems to pass every test. Now, he doesn't need to start in week 1. That's okay. But like if Geno flounders, as I suspect he will, you inject him in week 6, he's this next year. He's the Tyler Shuck we're talking about next season. 100%. No doubt. No earthly doubt in my mind. This team has got the best of everything and nearly every position, but quarterback still needs to be figured out, and I don't trust Aaron Glenn. Now, I like that Frank Wright is coaching the offense. I wouldn't want him as a head coach. I think he'll be just fine as offensive coordinator. And like, if Aaron Glenn has any survival instincts, he will get that secondary figured out to some degree where there's some respectability. There are wins here. You know, if you people have been watching the preview shows and stuff on this network, people, and it's not just me, people are upping the Jets at every turn. We are a
you and
darling.
Cam?
Nah, Rob loved him too. Jeff's been a fan.
This seems like based on how you guys are talking about the Jets, just give me a hard under.
Hold on a second. You have to frame this fairly. I like.
Does he? Do you think that's what he's going to be doing?
I like some other people you have mentioned really do like the Jets to cover 5.5.
Yeah. I don't.
You take people saying that
They like the
and
Jets.
turn it into something very different. From a team, for a team in their position, I was kind of surprised by the amount of veteran additions they made. But for trying to get over this win total, I really like the veteran additions they made. Fitzpatrick, Trevante Sweat.
Minka
the
is-
phone. 1 second. Minka Fitzpatrick, he's good now, is he? After I heard he was the worst
enough.
DB in the league for
good enough.
the last 4 years.
It's good enough.
So now he's good all of a sudden, is he?
It's good enough.
Okay, I see how this works.
You said 3 wins. I want to let you know the advanced math on if you just get to league median turnover situation is worth 1.5 wins.
Yeah, but how could the Jets do that? They only have bad luck. Cuss roots for them.
I don't know, but I'm saying if they can find the middle of from where they were last year to get to the middle of the pack, the advanced nerds say that would be a 1.5 win
What
addition, not 3.
What type of luck regression do you think my golf shots give me on the golf course in terms of like strokes gained?
Strokes gained
Gained
luck
luck.
for Cust.
Jeff
You got to see it firsthand yesterday.
At least 2 beauties.
This guy, I think you save like 5.5. Their win total. You save 5.5 strokes around, maybe more, on the most insane, luckiest things I've seen.
And it happens all the time.
You've never seen anyone play a 55-yard shot 2 inches off the ground through the rough between bunkers to let it roll out perfectly to 3 feet?
That
stuff just happens for me. I don't know what else to say. This kind of stuff
and
happens
then
all the time.
balls get like off the tee, just shooting right into the woods. They pop out, and he's literally like Steph Curry hitting a 3-pointer. Like that is
It happens 50% of the time.
That is part of the plan. He's the craziest thing.
Like I just kind of expect it to happen at
And
this
then
point.
another one, I'm like, there's no way that he's like, I'm telling you, that's there. It was there.
Tim and I drove up, and it was actually in a great spot. If I was playing my own ball, I was like, this is actually a great position to be in. If you look at the schedule for the Jets, there's a lot of winnable games on there.
Yeah, that's why people
They're going
like
over.
the over.
They're going over. Mount 500 is in reach, but I won't go there.
Mount 500 could mean your coach is back, though. So I would argue, if I was a fan,
Or if he gets him to 500, okay,
Maybe he can stay.
maybe just maybe Aaron Glenn isn't a terrible coach.
Maybe.
Remember he
I
did
don't
the
think he was-
dance?
I don't think he was
remember how
partic-
much you love the dance?
Oh, it was a great day until it wasn't. But that was
Tampa.
that was a great day until it wasn't. But look, I don't think Aaron Glenn acquitted himself all that well in Detroit as their defensive coordinator. That team was getting gashed constantly. People were like, "Oh, well, they're hurt," but it was happening every year.
Yeah, but he knows Jets culture.
You would think a defensive back for the Jets, would be able to teach his guys how to pick off one ball.
I'm bullish on the Jets. I think
You should be.
If everything breaks, I said this to you before. I am just very impressed with the accumulation of young talent. If they can somehow catch a break, get lucky, as it pertains to who is the quarterback of the future.
3
starting
first-round picks next year.
That doesn't matter. You need to find the quarterback. You could have.
They might have already.
You could have.
They might have. I didn't say they have. They might have.
I predict you trade for a high-end former or maybe elite tier quarterback.
When Cincinnati wins 5 games this year, you just trade all 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. Problem solved.
I would do that.
I think
and give Mr. Brown as much money as he wants.
No, I believe there won't be a team more aggressive than you to land the disgruntled top-tier QB.
The issue is going to be it's the stupid Jets. They'll be like, oh, you know what we're going to do? Trade 2 first-round picks for 40-year-old Matt Stafford. That's probably their move. You can see that one coming. And then all your talk about how him falling off a cliff can come back to bite you next year when he actually falls off the cliff.
I choose not to answer that question under the grounds that may incriminate me.
I think this is a team that could be very good 2 years from now. So not this year, not next year, the season after. But if
I don't want to wait that long.
If they pick the right quarterback next year, it could be next year. Because the people who need to get the right reps this year are getting the reps. The O-line, the D-line, get some cohesiveness on the offensive side of the ball. The pieces are there. But you have to remember, you can put a rookie quarterback into that situation. They're just not good.
When you're ready to maybe win that Super Bowl, like I think you had a timeline. What was it? What was your year?
2027.
Hopefully next year, yeah.
Hopefully next year. You have like elite high tier special teams unit at the moment.
Yeah, but that usually goes away the better you get.
It was the best special teams unit of the last 30 years, according to the stats last year. And we got no Pro Bowlers for that. We had the best special teams you have ever seen in the history of color television, and we didn't get a Pro Bowler. Instead, they gave a Pro Bowl position to Shadur Sanders, but they can't find a Pro Bowl position for my kicker, who is fantastic, or my punt returner, or my kick returner, or my place kicker. I don't even.
I'm pretty sure it was the guy in the Jags, wasn't it?
Oh, that guy is so good.
The guy hits an 80-yard field goal.
But the Jags had 6 Pro. Give me one. It's not right. When I grew up and I watched the All-Star game, what I think I loved about it is that the Expos would have somebody in that game, irrespective of how poorly they were playing, and it meant something to me. And that representation still matters. Give me one Pro Bowler. That's all I ask.
Even I'm as hardcore as it gets. The minutia of the league.
Cust wants DEI.
The Pro Bowl is. It's dead. And even the accreditation of the Pro Bowl is dead.
Don't want it.
It's been bastardized. I don't want to say it's dead. It's been bastardized.
I still want it.
The Pro Bowl is dead in the same way, it's not dead, but bringing an 8-year-old to your home league draft, kills the league.
And they gave me, I think, one 5 o'clock game and nothing but 2 o'clock games all season.
That's good.
And how many did the Giants get?
They got primetime games all over the place.
Do you want to see the Jets get embarrassed in primetime?
I'd like a Thursday game. You can't give me a Thursday game.
This is wild.
No. This is retribution against the Jets for being dog shit in primetime.
I mean, I agree. That is what's happening. It's a conspiracy. And I'm glad that you agree.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think they know what they're doing.
This team is the second most valuable team in the AFC, and they don't have a single primetime game.
You think that's true?
That their valuation is the second highest?
He saw an AI graphic
They
that said that.
co-own their stadium, and they're in New York. Of course it's true.
Yeah, if you own any team that owns their stadium is inherently going to be worth way more.
Yeah, they co-own
So who's the most valuable franchise in the AFC?
I think it was the Patriots, just slightly ahead. But I think that's
You
reasonable.
think the Steelers would sell for less money?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You think the Broncos would sell for less money?
Well, the Broncos just bought them, and
the Broncos today. You think the Raiders would sell for less money?
Yes,
definitely,
absolutely.
Okay.
These are small market teams. Denver's not a small market.
I mean, Boston's not a big
No,
market.
I'm not talking about Boston. I'm talking about
Denver.
Pittsburgh.
You also
Pittsburgh's
share
a small
a
market
stadium, so you don't own 100%
but
of a stadium.
But in New York City.
Yeah.
This is
That's not like owning
the
something in
stadium.
Pittsburgh.
The swamp is not in New York.
12 people live in Pittsburgh.
But the land for which
Nobody lives in Las Vegas. These are small markets.
I understand. I'm not saying the land's.
Denver doesn't own their stadium.
Denver's different.
If Denver owned their stadium, I believe they don't own it.
I believe they do.
I thought they were trying to squeeze the public funds out of it.
Well, they want a new one.
Yeah, okay. Well, they own an old stadium.
They should just move.
MetLife hosted a WrestleMania.
They should just threaten to move the team to Little Rock.
The Little Rock Walmarts.
You don't think they'd sell out every game? The Little Rock Broncos?
I always wonder about the moving teams to some of these spots in the South, even Carolina. That it's no different than when you move basketball teams into big college basketball country. That the people there just don't care.
Yeah, if you had
about
an
the NFL
NBA team
teams.
in Lexington, no one would go.
But even to move an NFL team to like somewhere in like SEC country where I just don't know how well it would do. It would do fine, but there are better markets for that.
Yeah, exactly. People don't go to Charlotte Bobcat or Hornets games. They go to UNC games. That's what they want to see. And I think the point is well made.
I am going to take the under on 5.5 because I think it's funny. And with the way that all you guys are talking about the Jets, of course they're going to go under. But I win. I win if the Jets go way over because the show will be fire. Sunday Night Live with the Jets being like 7-2 at one point, only to watch them go 7-10.
I have promised myself to be on my best behavior if things go on the. I've already talked it through in my head to myself while driving in the car. It's like if they win week 1, you come in there, you take a seat in that chair on opening night, and you behave yourself. You say, it's nice to see what we got. Long season. Let's move forward. Don't become prison.
Can do that?
I mean, I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. I can't allow that to happen. I can't allow my emotions to take control of me.
Like just leave a red sticky note.
Yes, a note.
Yeah, but
like the Louis Oosthuizen red dot.
I need just a little note.
You'll need a little red dot
to remind myself
on your mic wrist.
If they win week 1, he'll have that note sitting in front of him. Then he'll find a cup with the Jets schedule, and then he'll be like, "Oh my God, look at all these wins." Detroit, no chance.
I'm not worried about week 1. I'm worried about if we win in week 2 after winning week 1.
I think the Jets are going to win.
They could be a very special
7
team.
games. God willing, it's the end of November, and there's a reason for you to literally scenario generate the final month of the season on air. That would be you need to scenario generate the final month on air.
When was the last time of us doing this show that the Jets have actually been in contention for a playoff spot in December? I don't recall it ever happening. We've been doing the show since 2008.
There were times he wanted to run the table.
Yeah, in just after Halloween. So if we run the table, we could get a wild card.
The year that Fitzpatrick and the Jets went 10-6, which was 2015. It's the last time they even had double-digit wins.
But they had no chance of making the playoffs that year, though, because they
won.
Well,
no, if they won in their last game of the season, they were in. They lost to Buffalo.
Oh, that's right.
When Fitzpatrick threw 6 interceptions, and they missed the playoffs.
And that would have been the first year that the three of us did the show together.
So that was the only time that they were vying for the playoffs.
So we could use one.
I feel like we were more stable then. I feel like both Jeff and I are less stable than we were then.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, I do.
Miami Dolphins. You guys got to spend time with the two Dolphins fans yesterday.
Yeah. And they, 2 Dolphins fans.
Yes, it's Steve and Butts.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
You were too interested in the fact that there was just a Chargers, entourage.
Two Chargers fans,
And
2 Dolphins fans.
Cart Girl's family loves the Chargers.
That's what we were told. Jeff is standing. Well, I don't want to ruin it, but let's just say Jeff couldn't hit a shot at one point because he was too rattled by the conversation.
I heard.
And that conversation was taking like 100 yards away.
I had to back
like George,
off.
he's spotting dimes from across the room.
He had to back off his golf shot to be like, oh my God.
They're talking about the Chargers.
Oh my God, he's talking about the Chargers to the Cart Girl. Yeah. Well, that was main character syndrome because I probably just thought it was about me.
When people talk about the Chargers around you, that often is. Granted.
Not the guy who was wearing the Chargers hat at the course?
That was a nice vibe. I thought that was going to give me good T1 vibes.
It didn't.
No. Just save the rest.
We can make quick work of the Dolphins, I'm sure.
Dolphins are 30-1.
How do they get to 5 wins? How?
Willis is good. That's how they do it.
I actually kind of like Willis.
So that's why I made this bet with Cam that I don't think the Dolphins are going to be like bad.
Yeah, they're not going to win 2 games.
No, I think they're like 4.5 is a legitimate number for them.
Okay, but
they could beat the Jets twice, Tim. I'm sorry to tell you.
That gets them 40% of the way there.
Yeah, so that's good. We're 40% of the way there. We're looking for wins on their schedule. If Willis turns out to be a real player, then they have a chance to win 6
Who
games.
do they play week 1?
Well, they play San Francisco in week 2 coming back from Australia.
Yes.
They could win that game.
Are they out west?
Raiders week 1. So they could be 2-0, Tim.
Oh my God, what a terrible game that is to start.
Beat the Raiders in week 1, get a schedule win against the Niners in week 2.
There's your game that's up against America's game of the week 1, Jeff, is Dolphins Raiders.
And Chargers Cardinals.
Oh yeah, there it is. There you have
Yeah.
it. But I don't know what the first America's game is. It's probably like Chiefs,
we know
Chiefs
it.
Bills.
No, it's
Eagles Cowboys, isn't it?
no, that's Sunday Night Football is Giants Cowboys.
week 1, 4 o'clock.
Of course
There's a
it is.
big one.
It's Eagles someone, isn't it?
Probably.
the Eags. So let's see. Let's take a look at Miami's schedule here. Let's see if they probably play Arizona.
Probably.
So Raiders, Niners, Chiefs, Vikings, Bengals. Then you get the Jets.
It's Rams, Packers, isn't it?
Packers, Vikings, and Eagles, Commanders, and then the two shitty games we
Yeah, so Packers and Vikings will be the...
No, I thought we went through this on the NFC, one of the shows that we did when we were going through it. I believe that the answer was the Eagles-Washington game.
I mean, I could see it. Week 1 is the week to do it.
Nansen,
Send Brady there for that game.
Watt will be at Buffalo, Houston, and then Brady will be at Washington. Eagles.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so this is where it gets tough. That there aren't that many winners. This is a pretty tough schedule for the Dolphins. So Raiders, 2 Jets games. If the Colts are bad, which I don't think they will be, but if the Colts are bad, that's basically all you're looking at and trying to get a schedule win from the 49ers.
Who's their crossover AFC division? It's the South.
No, they don't play
the North.
It's the North.
So Cleveland.
But I don't see Cleveland on the schedule. No, it's not. They play the Bengals.
Is it the West?
No, it's not the West.
They play the Raiders. Yeah, it is the West. They play the Raiders. They play the Chiefs and Chargers and Broncos. You should know that. They're Chargers
You think
guy.
I should know who 4 of my games are?
And their crossover games with the NFC.
Chiefs. Oh, sorry, not the Chiefs.
They have the NFC North as the crossover division. That ain't no fun.
Plus
and
the extra
and they
game.
have the Niners of the extra game.
And they're 3rd place, not 4th place, even though they're the 4th place team this morning.
Yeah,
that's
they
right.
were the 3rd place.
So
team
it'll be
last
tough
year.
to get there. But if Willis is good, they can win one of these.
So quarterback people have seen, and I know it can mean nothing, but if you dissect Willis's release and his throws like last year versus what has been shown on tape from camp and the first preseason game, quarterback people, I'm not one of them. I'm not smart enough to even know. I just watch the ball fly. Are very impressed with his upgraded mechanics.
I understand that.
They're like thoroughly impressed by mechanics that he's improved and could be fine and an exciting player to watch. If you're a Dolphins fan, what makes a successful season?
Getting the first pick.
Or Willis plays excellent.
Or Willis is like, oh, we're 7-10 with Willis in this
Or
terrible
just he
team.
plays great and they go 5-12, but he plays great and you know you got a quarterback.
Seeing a 4th round pick be good like the Packers would get, knowing that when the season ends, you're not in a situation like Jets fans being like, does our coach suck?
Yeah, does our quarter what
is
are we
our
going to do with
quarterback
quarterback?
horrible? Like that to me would be a win. The Dolphins got caught up. They got pretty good. And then they became obsessed with like star fucking. Ramsey, Chubb. I can't remember. I'm sure there's another high-end
Minka
player.
Fitzpatrick.
They onboarded. Listen, the Tariq trade obviously worked wonders for them. So I'm not knocking that. But that was part of their like star fucking era. And it got them so far. But that roster was like thoroughly diminished.
Yeah, and now,
that.
but at least I appreciate what they did, and I like what they did. What are you writing down? Nothing? You're not writing anything down? I can see you
nothing
writing.
is germane to the
I think
conversation.
he's writing his AFC playoff picture.
Trying to get something worked out in my mind.
It's weird when I'm looking at you and trying to like talk like we're having a show, and you're just writing like this.
Okay.
Clearly not listening.
You're saying you like.
I like that they bit the bullet on being in cap hell. Like, hey, we're going to. We have no money for any players. Let's not pull a Saints and try to extend this over the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Let's suck this year, and then we can get on with the rest of the team.
And that's what our friends yesterday, that's what they're excited about. Next year, you're at like $100 million.
Yeah, they're always jaded, though. All Dolphins fans are jaded.
Sure,
all
of
the time.
course they're jaded. But, you know, the
They
Dolphins.
could win the lottery, just for $5 million, and be upset that it wasn't 8.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, there's
I know Dolphin fans. I don't. They're beaten down group.
I'm a beaten down group. We don't.
I feel like I'm a beaten down group.
Oh, no, you're not.
It's different, but it's
It's
levels.
a different type of pain.
It's levels.
It's levels. It's all levels.
No, well,
levels.
Bills
All
fans are
levels.
technically still beaten down, too.
Another level.
What do you think? Like a guy who's loved the Ravens in the Lamar era, he doesn't feel beaten down despite having a MVP.
To a degree. Depends how old he is.
Yeah, they also do have 2 Super Bowls.
Including that
No,
Flacco
I'm
one,
going a
like-
little. I said I tried to single out the era, but fair enough.
Yeah, the Dolphins, like, developing some exciting players, finding guys that might be on this team 2 years from now is the goal of this year. And if Willis is good, you're like, whoa, if Willis is bad, you can get out of that contract. And it's no big deal.
I'll just flip the conversation because it's the Dolphins and there's not a ton to talk about. Where are you with like HN and fantasy?
I'm out. I just think he might get moved.
Wouldn't that be a good thing?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Depends on who they go to. And they're going to also, like, Mike McDaniel was a good offensive coordinator. He made
The run.
the run, even with a like deteriorated offensive line. He was able to scheme HN open. Maybe because Willis is there and he's a dual threat quarterback that opens up lanes, he can break off big plays. I'm just kind of, I don't want a running back on an offense that might score 10 points a game.
The Dolphins are going to win a couple ratty games as like underdogs.
Well, they're going to be an underdog in basically every game, so it would have to be those.
Oh, yeah, that's a
I think
low
somebody
hanging
who likes pooches will love themselves the Dolphins this season.
So let me ask you this. What was the prediction you put for the Jets? Like 7 and 10?
Yeah, I'll go 7 and 10.
Now, what if instead of Geno, they had Willis as their quarterback?
They could go like 9 and 8. They could go 10 and 7. Could.
So I think that bodes well for why the Dolphins could get over 4.5.
They basically just don't have anybody but him.
You don't know how Caleb Doug is going to be.
You're right.
Or
you're right.
Jalen Tolbert in a starting role.
Yeah. I just think you have all your work cut out for you to get to 5 wins, and therefore I have to take the under.
The macro view, though, I really do, as you said, though, Pat, I think they didn't have a choice, but we've seen some teams fight the choice. They made the right decision, rip the Band-Aid off, go through hell. We've got to start this over.
You know
They'll
who should
be in a
also
better
do this?
position for it in 6 months.
You know who should have also done this? The fucking Browns.
Well, they couldn't until they could get out of the money.
They can next year.
Yeah,
So
next
are they
year.
going to do that next year? Because you could put yourself into a situation where you did it this year, then just doing that next year is not that big of a deal. And you're running fucking Shedeur out there at quarterback. Like, come
Or
on.
Watson.
Or Watson. Yeah. It's not going to end well. I've been making the case for the over of the Dolphins. I am going to go under. I don't think that they win 5 games.
Under. Lowest record in the league?
No.
Someone will like.
I think
the
we're just
2
going to
wins?
see one of these teams just be terrible. I have the team who I think it's going to
It's going
be.
to be the Browns.
That's
And
who I
you've
think it's gonna be
also-
too.
That's why Cam's going to lose that bet.
Yeah. That's
And
why I
it's
made the
like-
bet with
Browns.
Cam.
And as you and Pizzola discussed, we are in this era where there's usually there's 3 or 4 or 5 great teams, and we have like a handful cluster of just the most pathetic, for which one of them will have 2 wins.
Yeah.
Let's pick division winners. I got Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Oh, I'm going to erase that B that I wrote down
Yeah,
for you.
Buffalo.
All right. No, I guess I don't have to.
I wanted to. I thought about it.
Sorry, Paul.
This is the 6th
Sorry,
division
Paul.
that we've
Sorry,
done
Paul.
on this preview.
Love you, Paul. Miss you, Paul.
You can just walk up the road and go see him right now. He lives like 5 minutes away.
I guess kind of rooting to get on a plane. I'm not going to see him. He's had a busy weekend, I heard.
Yes. He's been having a busy few weeks selling his house.
Aha.
He's getting his house ready. Make the move. That brings us to the midway point of the show, which means it's time for a mini version of Cust Corner.
He's the most insane Tim Too Rich, Coke fanboy impressionist, a murderer, a fast food lover, a nuts fan who'll curse your mother, self-proclaimed man of the most. He wants his credit, he needs to boast. Doctor, Top Gun, hipster too, whatever you call him, that's up to you. He's got a corner and it's Cust. Let's hear the hot takes and discuss.
So I had this idea, and it sort of stems from McDonald's is once again doing an international food menu.
You saw that
this
this morning
season.
in the
That
drive-thru.
I'm not really going to participate in it, and to fully participate in it, you have to buy all these various items. I think fast food places, much like the way breweries do, have flights. You should be able to get a fast food flight. You should be able to get a wedge of a burger and a handful of fries and a little tiny bit of
Called a fucking Happy Meal.
but the stuff you get in a Happy Meal is not the stuff I'm talking about.
I don't hate this idea because I'm not going. We were looking at those options, and the ones that we have here. I think there's a chicken parm burger from Australia. There's these black pepper nuggets from Japan, and a pulled pork sandwich from Spain, or the three that
It's
were
like a pulled pork hamburger.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
there's a. I don't get why I would want pulled pork on top of a
I
hamburger.
don't either.
That's me. But anyway, I would like to try them. There's probably zero chance that I'm going to order a meal. So I'm kind of with you. If you could give me a bite of,
I'd like a
each
bite.
of them,
I'd
yeah.
like a bite or 2
Yeah,
bites.
they're not
max.
going to do that.
So they have done the cost benefit analysis that it is better for them to sell one sandwich at $8 than 6 little bites that might equal the $8, whatever they might get on the sale.
What
That makes any sense.
So what we should actually do is go to McDonald's after we're done filming this. We'll order one of each and then cut them into threes, and then we can try them all. That's how this would actually have to work.
Yeah. Okay.
But you want McDonald's to give you like you go to Chili's and you get the platter where it's got matzo sticks and nachos, a couple tendies, a couple wings.
I want the little flight.
You want like
Yeah, I do.
So I proposed this to Jeff in the car on the way over. Do you think that these GLP-1s are putting fast food restaurants at risk?
Yes. 100%.
I think they are,
And
too.
the intelligent ones will adjust, and the ones that aren't won't.
adjust how?
Like they'll figure out a way to design smaller burgers. They'll introduce ingredients that are so attractive that you'll want to try it on a day where like you're going to cheat on something or you're just in the mood for a burger. They're going to use better or healthier ingredients. They will figure out ways to market intelligently. The days of the supersize and the biggie stuff, which was a fad in the early 90s into the 2000s, like that's in the rearview mirror now. What is like the here and the now will be smaller, more micro-targeted things. And
You
like
think
the
kids today supersize like we did?
no,
My kids don't.
Yeah, well, our kids are a little younger, but I mean, like, I don't really see supersizing.
No, you're going to
anymore.
see like 2 or 3 anchor fast food places that will still do really well because they'll have some of their clientele and they'll have figured out how to adjust. You adapt or die, right? It's like natural selection.
But do you think that the overall upside of profits for a McDonald's are just sheerly going to go down because there are people who were their
100%.
biggest consumers that are no longer eating there?
100%. It's a real challenge to the marketplace. If you lived in 1890 and you were your job was to, create horseshoes for horses, you had to adjust to figure out how to create tires for cars. Or and the few people that were able to figure things out survived, and most people didn't.
I would ask, and I'm not totally familiar, this is just me spitballing, but these GLP-1s, they're not free, so they're going to
They're becoming cheaper and cheaper.
like the
at every
lowest
turn.
class of people that are eating fast food don't have maybe access to the GLP-1s.
In 10 years from now, absolutely.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're already becoming significantly more affordable.
It'll be like buying an 85-inch TV, which was something when I was growing up. The richest person I knew had one, and everyone else had a 24-inch TV.
100%.
And now everyone, the cost of televisions and some electronics over the past 15 years, it is laughable.
It's like
it's not that they're cheap now. It's just they used to be like 20 grand.
And when you
now they're
consider
800.
inflation as well, like, it's one of the very few items that has become like demonstrably cheaper per, your income. compared to-
Computers as well.
Yeah.
Like computers are cheaper now than they were 20 years
and
ago.
they do a heck of a lot more.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed with the GLP-1s is a lot of these female celebrities who were part of these, fat is beautiful campaigns 5-6 years ago, all of a sudden are pretty skinny.
Well, I think you're talking about two different things, though. There's one way to embrace how you look and feel good about that, rather than feeling down about it all the time. But there's also a health risk that goes into being that large anyway, that if you can make yourself healthier, you would do that.
These things could be miracles.
Yeah.
They legit could be miracles. And like when those sorts of things, one of the blessings of modern technology and science and research and development is that you do develop these things sometimes. And you can think of all kinds of diseases, which 50 years ago were debilitating societally.
Yeah, but those are back now.
In some cases. But in other cases, like they've been, they've been really, really, really improved upon. And so obesity is not that different from many other conditions. And so, if I was running a restaurant and I was like running McDonald's, I can't just rerun the same playbook that's worked for the last 50 years. But I think a place like McDonald's, which makes so much money and has so many vested interests to get it working, they're the type of place that'll figure it out.
Their research and development versus all the other fast food places is just astronomical.
And it'll be the same with soda, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi will figure it out and are thinking about this and are paying people, unbelievable amounts of money to figure out.
I'm a sucker because I have honestly, for the most part, it's levels, people. have done a great job for a period of time of really getting soda out of my life. But then these companies, they take all these flavors that I like and everything now gets part of the zero line.
Yeah.
Like the zero line used to just be for
Cola.
your thoroughbreds, your
Sprite.
the top shelf of
Yeah.
but now the whole line is, you put me on the shelf and it's Fanta Orange Zero and you think I'm going to be able to walk by that?
A&W Root Beer Zero?
No chance. Like I've got to give that a go.
But there are companies adjusting to the facts
But
on
because
the
I
ground.
quit on them and they're like, he quit on us. We got to get him back. How are we getting him back? We're going to zero those crazy drinks.
And because there will be less demand for these products, it will mean that only the biggest companies that have the intelligence or the small ones that are really creative are going to figure it out. The landscape of fast food and soda and all of these sort of like cornerstones of Western consumer culture,
Junk food culture,
are going to look almost unrecognizable in 15 years. I'm not smart enough to know what it's going to look like. I think flights. That could be
flights are where you
doing
want to be.
Doing the weave here. The flights, really could be.
Prince, yeah.
You see all these dirty sodas that if McDonald's gave you a flight of those, because I might not want an entire blueberry cream whatever, but if you gave me a Costco size sampler of it, I might have 2 sips.
There would need to be a way to do this efficiently.
Yes.
While also charging a shitload.
Oh,
Can I
a
ask you a
flight
question?
at a brewery costs a heck of a lot more than a pint, and you're not getting much more
But
than a
are they
pint.
better off trying to sell you a flight to see if you like it, or just on the apps, which everyone has now, offering you 80% off this item to try the new item, and therefore
So yeah, that's it. That's interesting because I think because there would be no no efficiency to making something like a flight. Like I said, the way that they would have to do it is cook the actual meal, then cut it up, and then they're down a part of the meal. That's just a complete waste at that point.
Unless you can sell enough of them that you're actually, sell a burger that would go for $8, you cut into enough pieces that you're getting $11.
You can, but then you have to. But you still have to. What happens if not enough people come in to get a flight right away? Then we have to throw out this burger, and if there was just a way to make a mini version of that burger, which they don't currently have,
a slider.
you're so frivolous with food. Why can't you just take a bite and throw it out?
I don't want to. I don't want to spend all the money on just one burger. I'd like to. I just don't want to do it. Like that chicken parm thing.
Looks
seems
gross.
I would
The
like.
last thing
I'd like to have a bite of that. I don't want a whole one of
The
them.
last thing I want, I'm not going to McDonald's for no freaking chicken parm.
No, I told
If
him.
I'm craving chicken parm, I know where to go.
Eastside Mario's. They make a good chicken parm. Boston Pizza does too. Makes a
my
very good chicken parm.
you realize that's frozen food that they put in a
I
microwave,
don't care.
right?
It tastes good.
Never mind.
It's good.
I could your world could change.
It's
Like, you
going to
have
change.
No idea.
How good was that pork belly that we had?
I liked the pork belly. That was delicious.
Did you enjoy those shiitake mushrooms that came with the fish?
They were chanterelles.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
They weren't shit takes?
I didn't love them, but someone who
But you hate
despises mushrooms, they were like a 3 out of 10 when most mushrooms are like a minus 12 out of 10. So take that for what it's worth. I don't like the texture. It's just that rubbery, weird chew to every mushroom. It doesn't do it for me.
I was shocked you were going so hardcore in on the fish, Jeff.
I like fish. I'm a big fish guy. I like seafood. I like halibut. Does it for me. And I'm out here, so
Yeah, you might. It's a good
Might
time
as
to get
well.
it. When you get the
I ordered
freshest
it
of the fresh.
home, so might as well get it.
Lake Ontario has some of the finest fish.
Settle down.
It was actually one thing because people used to ask me when I lived there, like, "Oh, you're from the coast. Like, you must order a ton of like seafood." Like, I don't think I've ordered seafood once since I came to the city. Like, I will get that when I go back to somewhere that has an ocean nearby.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
thank you.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else? That's
That's one of them.
all right.
right,
Well,
let's go.
you know what? We can save one.
He's got 4 things written down. Let him
We
give
have
something
20.
else.
We have 20 weeks of this stuff. You
Yeah.
might want to say.
Well,
Okay.
anything seem time sensitive a
No,
bit there?
none of it's time sensitive.
sure?
No, none of this is time
All right,
sensitive.
you hit us with one more.
Because I'm worried.
I
I got
think-
the whole NFC show, and people are going to feel they didn't get their quotas.
So let me say what I'm going to say.
You know
before
what? How about
you interrupt me?
How about
this?
you save that one? You save that one. I got a very quick one for you.
Okay.
Is it worth it to get married on 9/11 for the savings?
Oh, no.
Are you
shouldn't-
sure?
You should not pick your wedding date, a date you are going to celebrate for the rest of your life, just based on some savings on the day.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Like you picking
As
the
someone
time
who's-
of picking the time of year, I can understand that.
So let's say you were going to get married in September, and then all of a sudden, the 9/11 falls on a Saturday, and that's like a week where you wanted to get married, and they're like, no one.
9/11 on a Saturday is I could be wrong here, and my late grandfather's birthday is 9/11. So it's always got an extra sour taste because a day that is like
Of course, but that's different. But
no,
yes.
but my point being is I don't think 9/11 Saturday should be crossed off the. Oh, you're just thinking the bad juju for like.
no, it shouldn't be crossed off, but you shouldn't pick it on purpose because you know it's
I don't
cheaper.
think it's that cheaper if it falls on a Saturday. It's just the time of the year. It's like the first week of school.
It
People
is.
are really busy. That's why it's cheaper.
So
Not because
no,
of 9/11.
I was reading up on this that
Oh.
if you can get like the date 9/11 is like the cheapest day on the calendar to rent venues, to rent anything. My counter would be really hard to forget your anniversary.
Hard to forget.
Oh, Patrick,
I don't like where
never
this
forget.
conversation's going. I would just say, have you ever had a wedding like the first week of school?
It's a common time for people to get married.
Yeah, I've seen people do it. Yeah.
Labor Day weekend, that's a very common
Okay, so
time.
but like sometimes long weekends are cheap, but you intentionally pick long weekends not only because they're cheap, because you kind of want to have a smaller affair, and you know people will RSVP.
No.
You'll naturally get a few more no's than normal because it's a long weekend.
But that's a time of year. That's not a specific date on the calendar. You're
Yeah,
picking
that's-
just to save a few bucks.
It's
What
not,
other-
but the thing is, it's not. And listen, I don't think you understand how expensive weddings are. If you could save $10,000 on your wedding by renting a venue, you wouldn't.
Not
It's you.
no, I wouldn't.
You're the
Not-
cheapest person around.
I wouldn't go out of my
I don't-
way. No.
You can.
9/11 Saturday is cheaper than September 18th a Saturday.
Yes, significantly. Now think about if that fell on like a Friday or a Sunday, it'd be even cheaper.
No, I can imagine 9/11 on a Tuesday is probably a free night.
Yeah, if they're paying you to show up.
Because that was the actual day.
I know. I
What
actually said to
happened
Pat
on.
it was a Tuesday.
It was a
and,
Tuesday morning.
Do you want to know something about 9/11?
Yeah.
Settle down.
Get that bleep ready.
This was the years the Chargers had a week. The league had week 2 buys.
Had week
That's
one
right.
buys.
The Chargers were on bye the week that was canceled because of 9/11, and then their bye was put to the back of the schedule. So they essentially didn't have a bye. The bye that was theirs was for the whole league.
That did happen.
Circumstantially, horrifically, I was in high school. I never forget like most of you. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
Because of the Chargers bye week.
No, the day. 9/11, the day.
Of course. Anyone of a certain age remembers the day and how terrible it was.
I honestly had
But
hoped
I don't have
You want to know something else? I really hoped my math tutor would be canceled in Toronto. I literally thought maybe there's a chance my math tutor's canceled tonight.
We were off school
No,
for
people-
10 days.
Something like that.
Our school was used as like a shelter for all the planes because they had to park all the planes here.
That's right.
So they had to use every facility around. So you had like come from away. That was in Gander.
That's right.
There was more planes here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you guys were very much a part of.
So it was really weird.
The trickle down.
I made a bunch of money driving people out from like our high school where people were staying in
Can
the
you-
gym to the golf course because there was a bunch of rich dudes.
You
with
got
golf
something
clubs.
else quickly. We need a before we get into the AFC
Yes,
West. I
real quick.
I can't go in on 9/11.
So let me tell this story,
About 9/11.
but let me tell my idea before either of you interrupt me.
Yeah.
Please. So I have this idea. You should be able, or companies should build a thermal lining inside of beer kegs so that you don't have to stress if you're picking up a beer keg to take somewhere, how you're going to keep it at the right temperature to serve your guests. It's thermally lined. It's like a big Stanley mug, and that until it is punctured with the tap, that will keep its internal temperature what you want it to be. For a pretty significant period of time, not for eternity, but like 6 days, 7 days. It's like a high degree thermos, so that once you get your keg, you don't have to worry about keeping it cool or getting it cool again before you serve to people. And inside, thermal lining inside your beer keg would save a lot of people a lot of anxiety and stress and extra planning. That was my point.
So, Jared, I'm actually going to get you on the mic because you were a casual observer of all of this. So, Because Austin Smotherman became the first round leader of the Honda Classic earlier this year. I posted my bet in our golf group chat, and he's been talking. He's never been to a kegger. He wants to go to a kegger. He wanted to get this keg. That I said that if Austin Smotherman wins this bet, and it was halfway through the round, I will pay for the keg, but you have to do everything else. That means picking it up, bringing it to the trip, tapping the keg, everything like that. So he's been stressed out. He hasn't done any of the planning for this yet, and it's 5 days from now.
I got a plan.
So that's one. And someone, when we were at dinner the other night, one of our friends offered to do it for him. That's not part of the deal.
Yeah, for you to pay, I was catching the strays from the conversation. You have to be captain. Just like you're captain of the team, you have to be captain
Of the
Getting
keg.
the
mission.
Keg captain.
Jared can drive you, and Jared might have to help you tap it after you fail like 5 times. That's okay. But the biggest part was someone asked him, we were walking off the golf course yesterday, right? And Jared, you heard it. But he was just like, well, how are you going to keep it cold? And he was like, what do you mean?
I thought it locked in its temperature because it's sealed, and I didn't have to worry about that.
It's a tin can. It's an oversized.
I
like,
thought
tin
it would
can.
be like thermally lined, like with the bladder, the way that like a Stanley is, so that it locks in the temperature. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't you want to keep the internal
But when
temperature consistent?
You've ever seen like kegs, like in movies or pictures? It's usually surrounded by like an ice bucket.
I don't have any memory of that.
Yeah, kegs are the original participants of the Ice Bucket Challenge.
My idea, it's understandable to not know that. It's reasonable to assume that these big, sealed, massive kegs lock in the cold temperature that the beer was given to you in. But apparently that's not how it works. So they should very well create these thermal linings to keep it cold.
The beer is given warm. That's the
Beer
thing.
isn't worth enough money for the cost of the thermal lining on something that size. Like maybe technology can get there where it's just so much simpler and thermal lining. We'll get there one day.
I could figure it out.
One day we'll get there.
So, Jared, what do you make of this entire situation?
No, when Jared,
Just 3D
the
printed.
look on Jared's face, I saw it when Tim was updating Jared or asking Jared or presuming from Jared that the keg would be cold, is cold, would remain cold. It was like he was shocked. He was floored. His mouth was on the ground.
I just thought it was common knowledge that all restaurants, bars have like a beer fridge, like a keg fridge. You store all the kegs in and the lines go through and I just assumed that was pretty common.
I didn't know. How would I know that? I've never worked at a place like that.
Been to a restaurant.
Yeah,
before.
you've been to places.
But where do you think the kegs are under like the bar? No, there's like a hose
Yeah,
system.
but they get them cold and they stay cold.
because
I
they're in the
thought-
freezer
How do you think
room.
But I thought they came from the breweries cold.
Well, it might be cold
might
when
be
you pick it
tapped.
And they
up.
stay cold because they're sealed inside this
In
keg.
perpetuity?
Not in perpetuity, but for a decent period
Your
of
plan
time.
was to leave it in the car for 8 hours.
It didn't occur to me that it would be a problem. I figured it would lock in the cold. I thought these things were lined. They were thermally lined. It's a perfectly reasonable supposition to make.
It really is not.
I stand by thinking that it is logical, but I agree. I have to accept that it doesn't happen that way and that it should.
How confident are you that you will successfully
Procure.
Very, very confident.
Is anyone helping you with it?
No.
I'll
I'm
give
doing
you
it
a little play-by-play.
I
in
gave
the
you
car.
advice.
You did. I have a different idea, but your advice was also good advice.
I told you just to ask your good pal Claude, and he would just give you a step-by-step readout of what you should do.
I got it all figured out.
I think if it goes poorly the first time, it will be a tailspin.
This will be a horrific start for your captaincy.
Yes.
Agreed.
Like Jim Furyk in Paris didn't start as poorly as like a 6-month buildup to acquiring something that most of the world would be pretty simple, especially in PEI or in this part of the country where that stuff flows. It would be like a horrific omen for your weekend.
Yeah.
Can we get a little description as to how you think it goes?
Yeah, walk us through the process.
Yes.
Walk us through it. So this will be helpful because you can say what you're going to do.
I'm going to go to this place.
Yeah, you
I'm
go to a place.
And I'm going to ask for a keg.
Would you call in
Yeah,
advance?
you need to do this in advance.
I'm going to go to their door.
Yeah,
and
but
ask them.
you have to call
Not
them
the day
in
of. Not the
advance.
day of. Like, I'm going to go
okay,
there.
Okay,
like,
fair. Sorry.
Like tomorrow's a super rainy day and I have nothing planned. I'm going to the place tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm ordering the 50 mil keg or 50 whatever the large keg. I think someone told me there's 30 and there's
Can that
50.
fit in your Corolla?
It's going to go in Jared's trunk. Jared assured me yesterday it would fit in his trunk.
Along with the golf clubs and
Those
suitcases.
can lay in the back seat.
No, the keg might have to go in the back seat. I didn't know
think-
you were getting the biggest.
I
keg
think we
possible.
have to.
That is
I think we
fucking
have to put. I
gigantic
think
and
we have
heavy
to
as
put the
fuck.
keg in the trunk.
Well, he said it might not fit in the trunk if it's the biggest keg.
If it's the biggest keg, it's going to be a tight squeeze.
Sure, but we don't need to have anything else in the trunk. We can put our golf bag.
I think what he's saying is that it physically will not fit in the trunk if it's too
Like
big.
to get in the car, like a couch through the door.
And do
you know it doesn't bend? The steel keg.
Well, no, granted,
Do you know how big the biggest keg is?
no.
Fair enough. It's about the size of that underdog sign in the background, but 6 feet or 4 feet tall.
We can.
But
Turn
that's
that
the
on its
width
si- We can
of
turn
it.
that on its side and put it in.
Oh, you also have to lift it with Cust?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We can turn it on its side,
Question. You're so I assume
and then
you're
put
going
it
to,
in a Rubbermaid tote and put ice in it when we get there.
Okay. So you also have to bring a Rubbermaid tote
Yes,
down.
an empty
and you have to
Rubbermaid.
find ice.
But we're at a place where there'll be no shortage of ice, and if there isn't, we can pick up ice at a
You
gas
should
station,
probably
which
stop.
is
You
very
should
You
Get a
probably
few
stop
bags.
before getting to the golf hotel.
Well,
so
I
you're not
wouldn't-
sitting there for 8 hours underneath of an ice
There's
pile.
I
also
wouldn't.
ga-
I
gas
think it's
stations
bad
nearby.
form. It's bad form to fill the keg ice thing from there. That would be more like the top off ice should come from there.
Additionally, we're not even staying in the hotel. We're staying at cabins. So in his scenario, which he just proposed in his mind, he would go to the ice machine to fill up this giant thing with ice and then have no way to move that ice from the hotel to the cabins.
Well, Jared could help me.
Why is he? He's not helping you with everything. He's not your helper.
Now, here the tip side of like the flip side of it being a horrific omen to the week is you execute it perfectly. And there's people like Captain.
You tap that keg first time and you pour that first beer.
And it like goddamn hero.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you're up 3-3 in your match level vibes.
I want to be Jim Furyk from the President's Cup, not Mike Weir from the President's Cup. In terms of
Well,
captaincy.
you trying to tap that keg without Jared's help until he has to actually step in and do it for you is going to be the same pressure that Jeff experienced on the first tee box yesterday.
Fair.
You're shaking.
Anyway,
bouncing.
I got a plan.
But you're going to pick up. So here's the question: you're going to pick up the keg first. You're not going to get Jared to drive you there because I'll be out of his way.
Exactly.
How are you going to get the keg from the store to your car to outside of your car?
Well, it doesn't need to go outside of my car until Jared comes to get me.
How are you going to get it into your car? Are you going to make the people there put it in your car?
It's really heavy.
How heavy?
Like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, someone could give me a hand with it, surely.
Yeah, it's usually a 2-person job.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone would give me a hand.
That
with
means
it.
you have to ask.
I would.
Okay.
I got to pick it up from that person anyway.
Now, I gave you a pretty great suggestion.
You did. We'll pick it up like on site there.
No,
essentially.
like it is possible
That someone will deliver.
that you literally call a brewery near where you're staying, and maybe for a fee,
they would deliver.
they would literally deliver
I will
it
not
for
cover
you.
the fee. I will pay for the keg. You can pay for the fee for everyone doing.
But like
the
how
work
much?
for you.
Like they have
It'd probably be $15.
it's something they do regularly. It's not like you'd be the first person
I
ever
know, but
asked them to deliver a keg.
I have a
It's-
plan now. I got to go with that plan. It's too late now. I got to go with my plan.
Can you get a beer keg delivered to Crowbush PEI? Let's see. Let's see what Chat GPT. I didn't ask Claude. Claude's too good. Yes is the answer from the Prince Edward Island Brewing Company and from PEI Liquor.
multiple. There are the amount of breweries that are probably around where you are. They have probably very competitive delivery prices.
Sorry. Beer delivery to Crowbush is possible, but getting an actual keg delivery is less straightforward. But then tells you how to
Of
do it.
course, they're less straightforward. It's not just.
We'll just put the keg in Jared's trunk and we'll drive.
You better hope it fits.
And
what if it
the-
doesn't fit in your car?
Well, then I will know it won't fit in Jared's.
But how are you going to get it?
I don't know. Guess I'll have to go with the smaller one at that point.
Wouldn't it be better to even do this in PEI?
No, I want
See,
to.
I thought so too.
No, because then my
return it-
whole drive to PEI, I'm stressing about it the whole
Dude,
time.
you are making it like it's a goddamn keg on the east coast of Canada.
I used to buy one with a fake ID when I was 16 in high school. It's fine.
You're making it like you are.
I got a plan. I got a plan.
No, but you're making it into way more than it could be. It could be very
that
simple
underdog sign,
and
if I
stress
turn
free.
that sideways, like that'll fit in your trunk.
If 4 feet and
Not
80
if it's 4
pounds,
feet
filled
long.
with beer, filled with like, pick up a water thing. It's not heavy. I mean, sorry, it's not light.
Like when I worked in the bar, like you can't lift them. Like we would lift it on like a skateboard and roll it. Like it's so aggressively heavy and awkward because it's so fucking big. I'm concerned about you getting it into your car. I think we might be able to manage to get it into mine. I'm concerned about yours.
That's why. So once you're in his, I would pick it up. I would pick it up and drop it off at the place near where you're.
I would look at this delivery option and explore that.
You'll know when you get there. If you're planning on going tomorrow, you'll know when you
I
get
am
there.
going tomorrow.
Yeah. Like you'll lift it with one hand and see that that is impossible. And
Okay.
you'll be like, fuck.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a tester keg. that
There you
could play
go,
with.
tester keg. Just make sure
Oh,
it's not
ask.
empty.
Yeah, but maybe they'll give you a flight to see which keg that you want.
No, but the
There'll be
heaviness,
little parts of all
the
the big
heaviness is
kegs.
fine. I can bring people with me to help get it in.
And you're
the car.
worried about like McDonald's staff.
I don't care. if they
thinking
judge me.
less
No,
of
let them
you.
judge me. I don't care.
Okay, I like this. This is a
I got more
positive
important
step.
things here. I got to get this done.
That's an attitude. That's the captain's attitude.
I got to get this done.
He's been talked a big game about getting this
And
keg.
he's I heard him let people know that like he'd appreciate being called Skipper.
Yeah,
Skip
or
captain, whatever. Skip, whatever. I'll take any of that.
I would if I was playing on your team, I would glad hand you the whole trip.
I appreciate that.
Do we have time for one more very quick one?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? We're already 2 hours and 7 minutes in, and we haven't talked about the Chargers yet. Let's go.
I'm just curious what Matilda's wearing these days.
Oh, she has a bathing suit on right now.
Is it revealing?
No, it's
the geese?
It's a goose.
The goose.
It's a porch goose.
You know what? I want to get one for my mother-in-law at the cottage.
They're cool.
For his mother-in-law.
She would.
How old is your mother-in-law?
She's into this. I don't want to. She's in. She would get off on something this.
Corny?
Yes. Yeah.
How old is she?
75. Maybe?
Yeah, she's in Cust, like interest age demo.
And does she have a Jets outfit? for
No,
week one?
not yet.
Not yet.
Will she?
Maybe.
Hey.
If they start 1-0, it'll be
No,
ordered.
1-0, you're not going to get me to bite. 2-0, you might start getting me too
So,
excited.
but at what record how many wins until the geese is dressed like a Jets fan?
I don't know. We'll play that by ear.
What if you claim that one of the Jets ends up winning preseason MVP again? Would that be enough to push it
No.
into uniform territory?
No,
Do
I'm
you
not
have
making.
anyone
No
in the
claim.
running?
No claim. No, I'm not. We shut the Steelers out last night, by the way.
Good for you.
Heroes, really.
I'm just saying.
And got a pick?
Yeah,
What a
I got a
night.
pick. I'm just saying.
What a night. Buying a car can be a pain because there's a million different things you're trying to compare at once. Price, mileage, reliability, what you actually want to drive. All these things. That's why I like Car Gurus. The site makes it incredibly easy to narrow everything down and actually understand what you're looking at. You can literally describe what you want in your own words, and Guru will show you the real listings that match. And with more than over 4 million listings, there's a massive section to choose from. I also like being able to compare pricing and see what dealer fees are included and which aren't. And if you're heading out to look at cars, dealership mode in the Car Gurus app lets you compare vehicles and pricing directly from your phone. Buy or sell your car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's cargurus.com. cargurus.com. You know that business idea you've been kicking around forever? Well, at some point you actually have to start, and Shopify basically removes any annoying excuse for why you haven't, so you better just do it, all right? Everything you need to start selling is there from day one, including Shopify Checkout. When someone's ready to buy, it helps get them through to the purchase quickly, and returning customers can have all their details saved. So it's basically one tap and you got a sale. And because Shopify handles the setup, payments, and all the tech, you can spend your time on what actually matters, growing your business. Plus, you're using the same platform that powers millions of businesses worldwide, from people just starting out to massive brands. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business. So go make one now. Start your free trial at shopify.com/PatMayo. That's shopify.com/PatMayo. Start your free trial at shopify.com/PatMayo. Let's get to the NFC.
I hope Aaron saw it.
The AFC West. We'll start with the division favorites, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're plus 175. 10.5 is their win total, minus 208 to make the playoffs, 15-1 to win the Super Bowl. For all the talk that the Chiefs are dead, they're not going to be any good, who knows what's going on with this team, sportsbooks tend to think they're going to be pretty good. I'm inclined to believe with
They
them.
have Mahomes. That's enough.
But Mahomes coming off an ACL injury. Now, you said that there was zero chance he would ever play in week 1. It feels
I
like
thought it was very unlikely. I don't think it's wise.
you cursed him back to full health.
But he's back. Full health.
Who's it,
He won't
Minshew?
be at full health.
No, their backup
Oh,
is
dog.
it's Justin Fields.
Oh, why is
Yeah, he won't be
Dobbs?
at full health right away. But
But he's playing.
he'd be. I'm over. This is my division team. I'm not pick. I don't expect Mahomes. I don't think a quarterback of his caliber historically in the NFL has ever had 2 down seasons with their team in a row like this. And like, there's still enough of the infrastructure there that team can win 11 games and be a division champ and be right back into the thick of things. And so, yeah, I'm you talk about, various other picks we've made on these shows about like, oh, it's just a bet on the quarterback. Well, there's no better quarterback to bet on than this one. So.
Middling offensive line. Kenneth Walker's a nice signing, but he's someone who
Helps.
It does, but if you give him 350 carries, he's going to be watching from the sidelines for part of the season.
Agreed.
So that's something we've learned about him. And we're at the point of the preseason now where people are like, oh my God, this random rookie receiver on the Chiefs is going to be so good. And they're going to be fucking terrible because that's what happens every
Yeah, but
year.
they'll spin straw into gold. with
They
somebody.
lose, both their starting corners?
A lot of turnover on the defense in totality.
Now, you hope that Spagnuolo can just do what he does and the defense is good, but they've lost real talent on the defensive side of the ball. You might be getting 75% Mahomes. I know it sounds like I took the over on them, but there's he is good enough to get you to 8-9, 9-8 with
he's
just
better
a
than
middling
that.
season.
He's good
so
enough to
anything over that, good luck. And they had the bad luck year, then they had the good luck year, followed by the bad luck year. All of this happens. I'm just really interested to see how this goes. They're not my division winner, though.
So I agree with a lot of what you said. The question marks, the case against, extreme turnover on defense, quarterback coming off of injury. I don't think just division fans of fellow teams, but I think football fans, I'm scared of something here. And that is like just the flip switches. It's like a reset. And that at the end of the year, it feels like, holy shit, it's actually going to be like the Patriots again. And by that, I mean, when you thought it might finally be over, it actually looks like it's restarted and it's different.
And that's what happened in 2008 and then in 2009, right?
But they also brought in Randy Moss,
Sure.
and Wes Welker. Like you'd be like, oh yeah, this makes sense of why they got so good again. And then it kind of happened.
And you have to
later.
give them the benefit of the doubt, even with the quarterback off the injury, even with the defensive turnover, the infrastructure there. I fully give them the benefit of the doubt. My best bet, I believe, for the Chiefs, and I said this in the NFC West, which I also believe is a hyper hard division, would be the Super Bowl. And I say that because if the Chiefs win this goddamn division, it means what I said might be restarting happened. And therefore, I would want Super Bowl shares on this team, because it doesn't just mean they're on the up again. It could mean they're the fucking Chiefs again. So I don't think you should bet them plus 175 to win the division.
and I
think you should bet them 15-1 to win the goddamn Super Bowl. Because if they do that little thing, they're hella ready to do the other thing, in my opinion.
And the discrepancy between the odds of plus 175 to 15-1 is they will try to win the division. They don't care about winning the division. If they have to be a 6 seed and go on the road,
They're a 7 seed. Their odds will be shorter than 15
yeah,
to 1.
like
to win the
they
Super
will
Bowl.
be fine.
Yeah.
Like there are certain teams that need the 1 seed, need that rest, and maybe we get to that point of the season, they'll need the rest, they'll need the injury. It's not going to hurt them.
But they don't.
To get a bye week, but we've seen them do both sides of this and get to the Super
Yep,
Bowl.
sure have.
It's not imperative for them to have to play home games in order to make the Super Bowl. If they are just the Chiefs, they will just win. They'll go to Buffalo and beat Buffalo.
That's what I'm banking on.
But I like them to go over the 10.5 wins. To you, Jeff? Sounds like yes.
Over, yeah.
Chargers. Your guys. Joe Alt not out for the season with a non-contact injury, like that tweet would have said that we showed you on the course. So he's still available.
But the center?
Good or bad news on the center?
Oh, there's no good news coming there.
Like, will he be back this year? Maybe.
I think when push comes to shove, he will choose not to come. They will convince him. He's probably just going to have. There's been no official word. The last word we got after the preseason game on Thursday, Harbaugh was asked for an update. He said ACL not looking promising. So I'm not going to count on that. I think it is advantageous or luck of the draw that they drafted a center that some people say in the second round that some people say was the best college center they've seen in years.
That's Sergeant Slaughter's son, right?
Yeah. The
Jake
unfortunate, the sad part about there is I was actually pretty excited about the interior depth. I thought Slaughter was going to be able to play left guard, first backup, and be the first backup on the center position and give us a bit of depth. In the first preseason game, it was really impressive to see him play both positions. And then this injury happened. We signed a center pretty much the moment free agency started, which clearly shows that was like an identified player that they wanted, that they thought could be a scheme fit. So it's a punch. It's a punch in the gut. The Jenga tower is wobbly. I have said to Tim in all my years, Pat, in doing the show with you, I don't think I ever nailed the Chargers on the goddamn nose as well as I did.
And I give you
year.
credit for that.
Don't
give you
fucking
credit.
patronize me.
I'm not patronizing you. I give you credit for that.
In saying when Slater went down, I knew they could be good because the quarterback is elite. But like the concept of reaching the ceiling was impossible. And then by week 7, it was like they will go to the wild card and they will get demolished and we're going to have to restart this thing. So this is like the life of the Chargers fan, is the sadness of the season, the dark clouds of the end of the season are dark when the season ends. And then the sunshine starts to come through. It starts to come through. You can picture things. You're like, wow, they really, look what they did with that. You start making the excuses in your head and see how the worm can turn. You convince yourself the worm can turn. Who is onboarding 2 all-pro quality tackles? On that note, we'll quickly say it's been a bit of a concern. Slater's taken a week and a half off.
So good time to do it right now.
And I have the injury. I still feel it. I'm not comparing the rehab, but do you remember how all offseason we heard like neighbors, it's not going well, neighbors, setback. We didn't hear any of that with Slater. And I knew there's no way this injury can be, like there's never a case where this injury is an ACL where it's just go.
Except for Patrick Mahomes.
Different position and different body
Full
weight.
patella rupture?
Did he not have a full rupture as well?
No,
Okay.
no.
He had a
no.
torn ACL.
No,
Okay.
a full patella rupture. No chance he
Okay.
had a full patella
Okay.
rupture. Oh, that'd be horrible.
I thought that I blew out mine, or like
Anyhow-
How's the Canadian fellow looking?
Well, just slow down a
Messidor.
second. So I am concerned. Now, the thing is, I said in my head, if Slater's not back, they say he's supposed to be back this weekend. So maybe today he's practicing in the practice that you tried to trick me about happening when I knew. They tried to trick me, Joe Alt, no contact injury, and they got me for like 14 seconds. I was pale as a ghost. I thought if you could feel what I felt in those seconds, but then the brain quicked, it was turning.
Well, we had to get you when you were on the phone with your wife,
Sure.
so you couldn't connect all
But it
the
was
dots
turning,
right away.
and it was like they had a preseason game the night before. They don't practice the day after any game, let alone preseason. So that's when I was like, boom.
but you also
got me.
melted down for like 20 straight minutes
And
afterwards.
could not hit the next
Oh,
shot.
I didn't participate on the next tee shot because my equilibrium was so fucked up. But you'd also hit such a good drive, it would just be like, no point. So I was talking about the clouds and they clear, and you guys saw my excitement and the ceiling, and like it can happen. Well, now that we're on the precipice of it, They'll be good. The quarterback is very good. There's a lot of great players. There's like no chance in hell they're doing what I want them to do. So it's a cop-out, but I have now just like mentally told myself like they just have to win one playoff
Why don't you
game.
tell me or tell the people what you told me yesterday if Alt had gone out for the season? What would have been good for the brand?
Herbert should consider they should have just not had him play this year. I don't think his reputation by not playing could get worse than the Twitter
He should
hate.
take a bye year.
I see.
Gap here.
Yeah, take a gap year. Go find himself.
Go travel.
He can go play in NFL Ireland for a year.
Yeah. Go on an extended honeymoon.
So there's like things to be excited about. I think there'll be some easy pitch and catch on the offense. There'll be some schematic advantages potentially. But as it comes closer and it's time to like hit the ball, there's no way I'm allowing myself to believe it's possible. There's just not a chance in hell. Messidori's been fine. I used to take a few days off.
Okay.
He got banged a little nick.
I thought so, but like
preseason games.
They
but
have
what?
pretty high hopes for him, right? So
Well, you draft a 25-year-old.
Exactly.
You drafted a 21-year-old. Yeah, no. And the reason they think he can play and
right away, yeah, and contribute.
Impact right away. Yes, they lost Minter. Jesse Minter is amazing. He's amazing. And we'll see what happens there.
That's my single biggest question mark about this team. How good is this defense going to be? Because it was good last year. It was a top 10 defense last year.
I've never experienced a Chargers defense that played with the physicality.
They hit hard last season. That was like it jumped out of the screen. How hard do they hit?
Thank you for recognizing that. I felt it. And when they touched you, you went down.
Particularly the safety.
When they touched you, like
You just hit after the play. It's fine. Kicked you in the nuts afterwards.
you guys are out to lunch.
How many personal fouls has he been given, Jeff?
How many did he have last year?
At least 2 or 3.
I don't know. I'm sure he does. How many safety average personal fouls for safeties?
Not everyone has the reputation he has.
Give it to him.
Okay.
He's the fucking best.
Okay. No,
Like, I don't know what you want me to say. He's amazing. I don't even, you're like just staring at me. You're like not agreeing he's amazing.
So you're just not even going to make the defense for it. You'll be like, whatever. He's just playing the game and playing it hard.
It's a football player who plays physical.
Okay.
And he's on the line. And yeah, now he's at like the level where things happen, can now create the league.
A penalty he doesn't necessarily deserve, but will get.
Or you get into a situation.
Oh my God.
You know what?
This is the fucking preview. Derwin James.
No, see, what happens is that everything goes. This is the first time I can remember of us doing this show, almost like how the Jets have never been good the entire time, even had a chance to the playoffs the entire time that we've done this show. This is the first time I can remember where the Chargers are one of the 8 teams that we will point to be like, they could win the Super Bowl. There's been years where you had outside shots at it, but this team feels constructed that if things go right, they could win it all. Now, what's probably going to happen is they'll lose in the first round.
Or Herbert will take a bye year.
Or takes a bye year, because in week 18, Derwin James is going to get one of those penalties and they'll suspend him for week 1.
See, the league is so rigged that they actually wouldn't suspend him for the playoffs, but if it was in the season, they would.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know
Come
what you
on,
mean.
stop that, guys.
But it's the first year where expectations, there's been years where we've talked where expectations are high, but it would be like a leap to say like, oh yeah, like if everything breaks right, they're going to go from 9-8 or 8-8 or whatever it was then to being like the team. Because we didn't do the show when they were like
And
rolling.
there will be consequences if they don't meet their potential.
Yes.
There will be consequences.
I don't know what the consequences could be. I was actually listening to the thing at the boys, not the 33rd team. The guys that left PFF who are good. One of them voted Herbert for MVP.
Monson.
And Sam's Monson, and then it's Palazzo or something, Steve? You have no idea what I'm talking about?
I don't. I don't listen to many other sports podcasts. I download and don't listen to this one.
They didn't have Herbert on the player, like the top 12 people in the league facing the most pressure. So, like, I don't know what, like, if I will bet you anything you want. Like, I don't know who you think. Like, you think Herbert or Harbaugh would be gone after this year?
I don't, but this is a chance. So Herbert doesn't have a lot to lose because the general sentiment around him is that he's a good player.
He will lose the game anyway.
Yeah, he's a loser. Like if he loses again, he's still a loser. That it can go up for him, but another failed year a failed year at these expectations next year.
That's what I was trying to say. Like next year, going into next season, they are both on the hot seat. If this year,
I'm just
not
telling you this right now. There is no way. It doesn't matter what happens. Phillip Rivers went 0-8 in his goddamn career against the Patriots. There was never a day where they're like moving on from this quarterback in this league. They will just lose in these games. They will just lose. They're not going to go looking for one. And the pretty boy from the West Coast isn't looking to move to the Midwest. He's not even 30 yet to chase something. So I think it is such an egregious conversation. I truly do. It lacks any authentic context. Now, I totally agree with you that the stakes are fucking high and the pressure is high. And this is... They brought in Harbaugh after a 5-win year. They win 11 games. They overachieve. They lose. It's like vibes are good. They go back the next year. The whole team is decimated. Herbert carries a fucking team on his back to the playoffs. They fucking lose. This is now year 3. There is not an excuse you can make. The team is in the vision for which Harbaugh wants the team. You on board, you can't fix everything. You have cap problems, this, that, blah, blah. Year 2, you can fix a little more. By year 3, it is you. It is everything you want. You have been able to get or try to get or get a lesser version of that. So 100%. I don't own, I guess it would take both tackles getting hurt to even have an excuse. Because I agree. There's no excuse that can play. My only hope is things just happen easier. McDaniel allows things to happen easier. That's what needs to happen. Easy pitch and catch. The hero play, the life-save play that Herbert, we lived and died by Herbert playing hero ball. Plays broke down instantly, and he made goddamn magic. And the moment he can't do that in a playoff game on the road against a better defense, it's ugly. That should not need to happen this year. There should be far more consistent structure to the team. And you hope the gains that they can make on offense with this play caller and the setup can offset potential regression on defense with the, losing a guy like Jesse Minter, who was a wizard. We'd sign these guys. Pittsburgh Steelers fans would laugh at me. You signed Dante Jackson like he sucks. Ha, ha, ha. You guys, ha, ha, ha. He was amazing. He gets put. The word is around the league that if you want a defensive player to make a bit of money, you send him to Jesse Minter for a year, and he is going to get paid. He did that with like 3 guys a year. He did. He is a true talent. We'll talk about him with the Ravens. Well, I don't know if he'll be a head coach. I don't know. The team is deeper than it was last year. That is unequivocally true.
The issue is that if it goes wrong, Harbaugh already has enough of it's 3 or 4 years, then everyone gets burnt out of him anyway. That if it's a not successful season, that's when it's not so much a Herbert thing, it's a Harbaugh thing because people hate his guts after spending too much time with him.
You're right.
At Michigan, it was fine because the players got to come in and out, and you only dealt with people in 3-year cycles. But every place that he has been, people are like, get this guy fucking away from me. You're a great coach, but I can't deal with it. So
we got to win. We got to win in the next 2.5 years.
2 years.
Or it's
if it goes bad this year, he's gone.
Sure, but that's why you got to win this year to give the longer leash next year for the players to keep buying into the overall mission. That is unequivocally true. I would only say this. I don't believe there's a chance in hell the Chargers are looking to get off of what he has brought.
Agreed.
Yes,
but we're not at that point yet. Yeah. We're not at the tipping point.
We're not at the point when I turn on him because I am just furious at the
and that
futility.
will be the sign. Once you give him a nickname, that will be the sign.
You always know it is. Yeah. And you want to know something? I haven't even workshopped one.
I believe. I believe
swear
you. I believe you.
Life,
I believe you.
We haven't even gotten to the workshop stage.
Because there's no coming back from that.
You've known me long enough
That's
to know
crossing the Rubicon
once
moment.
you're goddamn Octavia Spencer, Ellen DeGeneres, there's no the ship. It's like a goddamn aircraft carrier. It can't turn around.
No, that's it. It's
It
over.
cannot turn around.
No.
Under.
When you're Lyle Landley, you're never
you're
not
taking
Lyle
the
No,
Landley.
under.
I'm on. There's just no way.
You say,
There's-
did you say under?
under the total. There's no way. There's no way I'll get the blessings for which I dream. Under.
I also go under. Not having Minter is going to be a massive problem. Under.
I'm going to take the over. I think they're fine.
Can I tell you a little thing about the defensive coordinator, which if it works, it's going to be talked about? It does seem like, because he was from the tree. This guy we got, he's from the same tree that brought McDonald and Minter for the Harbaugh brothers, who have both gone on. This O'Leary fella. The Chargers,
Kevin O'Leary.
it might be.
I don't think
Is it Mr. Wonderful? That's who's calling your defensive plays this year?
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna bring in the best ideas from the outside, then he's gonna pay people for their their plays.
So the Chargers were hyper aware they were going to lose
Chris
Minter.
O'Leary, by the way.
The Chargers were hyper aware they were going to lose Minter this past year. I don't think they had any questions about that. And you saw, in terms of how many vacancies there were, he interviewed at like 100% clip. And the only ones he didn't interview were ones that he publicly turned down.
Yeah.
No other coach, even popular, like there was no chance he was surviving that. They knew that, I think, a year ago. I think in some ways they thought they were lucky to have him last year.
It took you a little longer to come around on that.
What
You didn't think that till about week 10 or 11 last year.
I know, I hoped. I was just, it was blind hope.
That's when the dam broke.
No,
You're like,
no,
he's gone.
My case was, God willing, it can be a Ben Johnson situation where he wants to like try to finish it. That was the only card I had, and maybe it would work out.
Right.
I didn't think in any
But
like
the dam did break though at one point.
I didn't think-
and then you knew.
I didn't think there was any logical way it could work out. But what a lot of people that I've heard happened here
People are saying.
is the Chargers sent this guy on purpose to Kalamazoo, where Harbaugh, he's deep through Michigan, to call plays. They run the same system. It was intentional. Let him call the plays for a year in Kalamazoo. He is our guy when Minter moves. I don't know that that'll make him good, but that story will be a thing if he is good.
Okay.
I hope he is. I don't have a clue though. I don't have a clue. I asked you yesterday, I don't know, Pat, is this the year the Chargers would trade a second or third round pick?
To get
like
who, though?
bring
I mean, if it's an offensive lineman,
whoever
maybe.
that player is.
Yeah.
Like, you know how it happened every year? There's a team that kind of feels desperate. They think it's the time to strike.
Like the Colts did last year.
No, it doesn't work.
And Dallas.
And Dallas.
You
did.
know-
Dallas just did that to get Quinn Williams.
You know,
In fairness.
88% of the time it doesn't work. It does. Like someone traded a second round pick for like Julio Jones.
Yeah, well, there's also
It doesn't work.
also the way that you need to look at it. No matter what anyone does, there's only like a 3% chance of anything working because you won the Super Bowl. Like one team wins the Super Bowl, and if you don't win the Super Bowl, then whatever you have done feels like a failure.
that's right.
Unless you're like what we spoke about with the Dolphins, we're like, hey, looks like you have two good players on your team. This is great.
I just don't really understand how people can claim to like watch the league. Actually watch the league, watch the games, watch the hyper majority of the games, if not all of the games, and come away with the quarterback isn't like very, very, very good.
I've never heard anyone say that Herbert isn't very, very good. It's just that he's a loser.
Yeah.
That's this rep that he has.
He doesn't
That
have.
Josh Allen's a loser. Lamar's a loser.
Yeah,
'Cause- but I'm in the context of I only want a Super Bowl.
No, so here
I understand it. It makes the Twitter discourse easier if he has a playoff game. But as far as I'm concerned, only one number matters. The only thing I want to do is order goddamn golf balls with the number on it.
That guy really got in your head about that, didn't he?
Pat,
I thought about it all yesterday
Pat,
after you told it to me.
you have
I thought about it every time I looked at my ball.
I don't think people understand what will happen if they actually won. Like,
I keep telling you about the Jets.
I don't think you understand.
it would change my life.
No. In terms of like the sort of things you'd be like, is that a Super Bowl champions like diaper genie? Like the sort of things. The whole fucking store. And 3 of each.
Like Masters. It's like going to the Masters.
Like,
You're going shopping.
I don't like ugh. The second I see these people, I told my friends who love the Raptors, like, okay, you see, like, you won the championship, you got buying these t-shirts. The second, like, late in the summer, when these t-shirts go on a sale rack, you literally buy the whole rack. A fresh one a year for the rest of your life.
You don't hide them behind other shirts in the hope that maybe you'll get
If
it
I
cheaper?
forgot my credit card or my payment at home and I needed to come back in an hour, you better believe I'd hide the ones I fucking want.
I believe you. I believe that you would spend $25,000 on championship merch.
Well,
I do believe you would do that.
I don't think instantly, but over the
over the
time.
course of like.
And then I would call like a store in Los Angeles, be like, "Hey, when you like those go on clearance, like I'll buy the whole box. Like
Yeah.
I'll buy everything you
and
have.
to make sure you hear me clearly, I will buy the whole store.
the whole box. But that is something no one has to worry about. It's not ever going to happen. I'm past 40. I'm not living to 80. We're on the back 9, and I have convinced myself nothing. Like, it will not happen. I get to think about it, and that's fun.
Yeah, that sounds like that sounds great.
That's fun.
That sounds great.
Just thinking about it.
I'm the only team on the over. I'm taking the over on the wins here.
Okay.
The coiner with you guys on the under.
Well, he's like, you got like 5 fucking wins.
Yeah.
He didn't say it today.
No, you didn't.
So
Under, but
Well,
like
after you pumped his tires for a little bit, he didn't
Alt?
make you mad.
Alt.
if you told me the number was
Joe, under?
7.5, I might take the slight under of 7.5.
So can we bet?
No.
How about like a Jets versus Chargers win? I don't want to cheer
No.
against the Jets.
No.
I'd give a spread, like a handicap.
No, I don't want to.
You're so flimsy.
Okay. I just know Jared's going to put it in his book, and I don't want it there.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Jared's now got a bet book that he's keeping track of.
All bets made
Cam's
on the
bets
show.
with Pat and with Rob and
And the Hateful Eight.
In the Hateful Eight,
oh yeah, the Hateful Eight,
+1. The Nefarious 9.
Troublesome 10.
The Broncos are up next.
Let's not horse around here.
The Broncos are +215.
It's my main joke. I enjoyed that tale. Oh, I know. It's like 2.5. Let's
One more.
Let's 2.5 hours.
One more.
Let's hoof it here. Come on. It feels good to be back in the saddle. All right.
What the hell just happened?
He's just dropping a little equine humor on you.
He's so proud of himself right now. Like, if people can know how proud he is.
It's like I just made that putt on 5.
I would say you executed that whole thing well.
Thank
right
you.
Here.
I appreciate that.
I don't know how long you've been workshopping it.
Literally 0 minutes.
Okay, even better.
The Broncos are +212 to win this division. I think this is the best bet in the division. 9.5 wins. I love the over here. -145 to make the playoffs. Give or take. 18-1 to win the Super Bowl. I think the Broncos are going to win the Super Bowl. They should have won the Super Bowl last
We'll
year.
take the over, but I'm not taking them for the division. I have them as like the first wild card team.
If you have them this first wild card team, the bet in this division to win the division is them then, because they have the best odds.
I'm just not picking against the Chiefs.
Sure, but if they're in the mix to be a wild card, that means they're in the mix to win this division.
Yeah, but the
And then
difference
you get
between
the longest-
175 and 215 is not so great that I have to worry. I care.
It's what, 40 cents?
I don't care. I'll just take them to
Hey,
go over.
Cam.
I'll just take them to go over, win like 11 games, win the division.
This, like, we've
Win the
we've
wild card.
spoken about Seattle, we've spoken about Philadelphia, and I will speak about the Broncos in this context. Like, when you look from head to toe roster wise, they're awesome. They're good everywhere. They have a great offensive line, a great defensive line, and maybe I'm wrong about Bo Nix. As long as he's healthy, obviously he's coming off the
He
broken ankle.
O'Douled. I mean, it helped that Josh Allen played terribly,
Yeah,
but
but
he
he O'Douled
O'Douled Josh Allen
This
in the playoffs.
is a great defense with the capability of being the number 1 defense in the league.
Yeah.
They weren't last year, but that's like their upside.
Yeah.
Their offense is very good. They make the move to go get Jalen Waddle, which will work well for like spurts of 10 minutes during games when he's not on the sidelines.
But when he's in,
he's a
he's
real player.
impactful, yeah.
And I believe that Sean Payton can get a lot out of some of these no-name type guys, his scheme, his system. And I believe that Bo Nix is a good quarterback. He's in that tier that we talked about, like Darnold.
Yeah.
And he is a guy that you can win a Super Bowl with. He is not going to win you a Super Bowl, but that's perfect for this roster. If Stidham doesn't get hurt last year and Bo Nix is just fine,
Then they lose by 30 points.
I
to
don't
the
think they
Seahawks.
lose by 30 points in
Well,
the Super Bowl.
They definitely do. Not by 30, but they definitely.
I think they give Seattle a game in the Super Bowl.
Seattle would have crushed them.
I don't think they would have crushed
Just physically.
them.
Just physically would have
I
dominated.
mean, this defense is as good as Seattle's defense.
Nothing was stopping Seattle.
They wouldn't have got run over by Kenneth Walker. is
Well,
what
no, they wouldn't have been
done.
humiliated like the Patriots were in the Super Bowl. You're right.
But I like the Broncos a lot this year. They are my AFC champion.
I respect that.
and
totally.
they're my Super Bowl winner.
I respect that too.
Would you wait, Pat, until they have a really tough
I
schedule?
respect it. I don't like it.
Early?
Yeah.
Like really early. Would you wait until like after week 6? There's a real chance they could be like 2-4.
See, now, when I act like this, when the Patriots get mentioned, you come right aboard
You
me.
do
but
it every time.
Yeah, you do it to every there's like 5 teams
Every
you do this
year,
for.
5 years. I said, like the Broncos winning the Super Bowl. Just put me out of my misery.
So yes,
I'd rather the Chiefs rivalry reemerge than the Broncos win the Super Bowl.
So you are correct, Jared, that the schedule is fearsome. But I mean, I see 18-1. I've seen it higher in some spots. Here's the issue: what if they go like 3-0?
The whole,
Now they're like 6 and they're the favorites to win this.
100%.
If they beat the Rams in week 3 to go 3-0, people are like, "Oh my God, the Broncos."
So can I tell you guys something? The Broncos, for the whole division, it's a gauntlet schedule because of the division, and they all play the West, like we spoke about yesterday when talking about the NFC West. So they've all got it tough. The Broncos got such advantages on the goddamn edges. They won the division, and their crossovers are easier than the Chargers, who came in second because Pittsburgh won the goddamn division. Okay? Like, god damn it. I love the Broncos too. They can't win the Super Bowl, though.
Why not?
They won 11 one-score games last year. Miss me with theirs.
They're also going to have to play that style of football to win.
Yes.
11 one-score games.
Maybe they win 9, but they win 2 of those in the playoffs, and all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl.
They almost were.
Yeah, they should have been in the Super Bowl last year. They almost got there with
with a backup
you
quarterback
playing quarterback.
in a snowstorm. Or if they just didn't throw the ball, they would have won.
I love the coach. I love the coach. I'm a little, maybe this will work out better for them. I'm a little worried that the new coordinator, who they felt forced to promote because they didn't want to lose, and now Peyton isn't calling the plays.
Yeah.
So that could create a vibe where like Sean Payton desperately wants to call the plays, but he made a cost-benefit analysis that I'd rather keep this guy,
Davis Webb.
Until
Webb.
they're 2-2 and he takes the play
Yeah.
calling duty.
So that was what I was rambling towards, in that if it gets shaky, then that can create a situation. But as a Bronco fan, if that has to happen, if Webb is good, that's great. If he's not good, I just get Sean Payton inserted into calling my plays. I don't like. There's very few coaches in the league that can draw easy pitch and catch to the tight end up on a whiteboard and have it show up on the field just like it was put on the whiteboard. You hated him. He always impresses me.
So the reason that I like them is just they're built from the lines out. They have great corners, and they're not reliant on any one superstar offensively. That if that guy's like, if that guy goes down. Now, if Bo Nix is bad, then we're off the table here. Maybe they have to go find a trade for Joe Flacco mid-season or something like that. I think he's going to be fine. I think that he's good. But if Waddle goes down, like it's bad, it hurts your overall upside, but your season's not over.
Correct.
Like if the Jets started playing well, let's say, like Geno was fringy, but Garrett Wilson, a top 5 receiver by your metrics.
Objectively so.
If all of a sudden he's just out, the offense kind of stops.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we have the best receivers, but but fair enough. I know what you're saying. You take the best player off, and you're really moving backwards.
What is your 2026 status on Waddle? Because
I think it's going to be fine.
so now he's fine.
No, he's not on the Dolphins anymore.
Yeah,
He's
he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
No, I'm just because I listen. I come with the puzzle pieces of the things you said in the past.
I know what I
It's
said.
not a Simpsons episode where someone breaks their arm, you turn it on next week. That thing never happened. We got to start over.
Sometimes it is.
The way
I can
that
leave that grievance in the past. He's left the Dolphins now. I still think he's limited in some ways. He's certainly far more limited than Devonta Smith, but nevertheless, he's a good player.
So to to assess this from the way that I'm trying to talk about it, maybe they will need to be lucky again in one-score games, which isn't crazy. Like, you can get lucky.
And they have the build, as you said. They have
do
the
that.
build. They're built to do it. They're built to do it better than other teams. That's why they do it more often than other teams.
Because they will probably play, like, if we got to the playoffs, it's very, like, if we got to not even the title game, let's say it is the second round. Like, the Broncos are unlikely, even as a 1 seed, let's say, to be like 10.5-point favorites against a really good team. Like, max, they're probably like 3.5, 4.
Sure, yeah.
Whereas some of these other teams, if they got on a run, would be like, oh my God, they're unstoppable. The Broncos will probably never look like
That's
that.
right.
Yep,
But they're
that's
kind of
fair.
like, with the way that people talk about Houston, Broncos actually are.
I don't disagree with that.
That is a fair. They're okay.
And when we talked about Houston 5 hours ago, if I can remember,
It was 2 hours and 44 minutes ago, okay?
Is that it?
And people are going to be mad. Like, they talked about like their golf game for 3 minutes off the top here.
Yeah. You're getting it. This might be the only 3-hour show of the year, folks. So enjoy it.
We're almost at 3 hours.
I know. This might be the only one. So enjoy it.
So over for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over. I mean, the only thing I can say is their coach wears a ladies' golf visor on the sidelines.
But so does Tim, as you pointed out.
Yeah, but Tim wouldn't dare. Tim didn't have the guts to wear his ladies' golf visor in a game with me. I
I
approve of
definitely,
his
I
switch.
definitely wouldn't have wanted to get into your head. God forbid I do
Give
that.
me something else to talk. Yeah, listen, whatever. We move on like your waddle takes.
Exactly.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
This will be quick.
20-1 to win the division. 5.5 is the win total. Plus 615 to make the playoffs. 150-1. Better odds than the Jets to win the Super Bowl. And you hate their starting their quarterback of the
I
future.
don't hate. I just think he's got limitations.
You called him a one-read merchant.
I
Then
think
you
he
showed
is.
us a video of his pick and then laughed hysterically
Because
for
his
a minute
first
straight.
read was completely blocked out, and so he tried to adjust. He threw into coverage and was pick six.
The Raiders.
You
were-
almost cried when we told you about this with Sam Darnold and his first throw ever.
I'm not saying he can't develop, but
And he
it's
won
his
the Super Bowl.
It's his rookie year. The Raiders do not have a whole lot of talent around there. They still haven't made their offensive line much better.
They went and they
Yeah,
got
but I
a
still think
legitimate center.
They're still limited there. They don't have a quarterback you can count on. Either they have a rookie who's unproven, or they have Kirk Cousins who's 41 years old. They're in the toughest division of football. I don't see. You should have given Cam as the freebie. This Raiders team as part of it because they're not.
You think that I should have given the team that you think is going to be terrible to Cam instead of keeping them for myself?
Just let him have it.
Also, Kirk Cousins is 38 years old.
Is he that young?
Yeah.
That's younger than I thought. Okay. Anyway, way under on the Raiders. We need some serious unders in the AFC to get where we need to get, and this is one of them.
Can the Raiders go 0-6 and hit this win total? Like 0-6 in division and hit the win total?
No, there's no six. They can't win 6 games out of.
Let's
division.
see. Dolphins, Saints, Jets, Browns, Titans, Cardinals. It's there.
They'd have to sweep. No, but they'd have to sweep. That's like
Or they go 1-5 in the division.
they've got like a 2% chance of doing that.
Those are
If you
bad.
parlayed those 6 games together, what would your odds be on that parlay?
35-1.
Well, there you have it.
What if I parlayed the money? Like, they might be favorites in 4 of those games.
No, they will not be. No,
And they have a home field advantage because people get too fired up in Vegas as an opposing team.
including their fans who don't come.
No, the home field. They don't have the home field
Yeah,
advantage.
no one comes.
If anything, the other teams, it's like an LA situation.
Yeah, nobody.
See,
comes.
I thought it'd be that because this happened in hockey for a while, where the opposing teams would get in, then they get burnt out in Vegas before the game.
I don't know. These guys, they're built different today.
It still happens.
Are you
Are you saying that
happens.
the Canadians would go to Vegas for the hockey games? Or?
Depends how long. It depends how long they're there. The teams have them stay away, but the reality is, I'm not saying they're players that aren't out at night. But once that game starts and we're in the building, the crowds are 77% for the opposing teams who like to make a trip to Vegas and see their favorite team play. There's not like a hardcore. Well, they're Raider fans because the Raiders are there. They don't have the equity of like, this is my team and I have to go to the game or anything like
right.
that.
You're right.
So
They
have suffered in a lot of ways outside of Mark Davis's bank with the move.
The easiest bet to make last year was George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb that got suspended for the first quarter for being out till like 3 a.m. gambling.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, just bet on that guy to break receiving records tonight once he gets back in the game.
The Vikings suspended someone on an international game.
Was it London Fletcher who
Didn't know where-
No, it wasn't London. Who was it who knew London Fletcher? Who was it? He was
Played for
inter-
the Giants.
No, what the Commanders didn't win.
No, it was
2006. He's like, the only London I knew was London Fletcher.
Yeah, it was someone on the Dolphins.
yeah,
So good.
yeah. Said we were going to play in London. The only London I know is London Fletcher. It's like, what? What does that even mean?
He showed up on it. Rob did an interview with him before our show last year. He got off of ESPN, I think it was Miami. And this Channing Crowder. Channing Crowder. The only London he knew was London Fletcher. Didn't know there was another London.
I like the direction.
Yeah, it's just a year away from being a year away.
Yeah, at least.
They've got
Very Jetsy, but they have their quarterback potential.
So they're set like, the center, the quarterback, maybe even the running back and the tight end. But once you move outside to like the tackles, the skill position wideouts, it's a pretty barren operation. I wouldn't be shocked if like higher end defenses, higher end coordinators, despite the high level talent like a Brock Bowers, they'll just let Bowers beat them for like 12 yards. Like and then you have to go the whole field, not take the penalty, not make the mistake, not take the sack, right? Isn't that just how you're going to play the Raiders?
Well, that's how you would have played if you expect this version of the Raiders to be a slightly like improved version of last year. There is one thing that we're wildly overlooking with this team that could make them a lot better.
The coach?
They don't have Pete Carroll coaching the team or Pete Carroll's son coaching the offensive line.
No.
Like Clint Kubiak changed the Seattle offense and made them good.
Sure.
He made JSN into the best offensive weapon in the league. Not to say that he's going to do that with these guys, but giving him a talent like Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty with an improved offensive line.
And Michael Meyer.
And if he decides to show up and play this year, sure. But Kubiak raises their level from well beyond. They were the worst coach team last year. And just having responsible people, like even if you just give them the same roster as last year, Kubiak probably makes them look a bit more competent. You give them the same team plus a few good players, they could be okay. Yeah. They're in a bad spot because of the division, but they have winnable games on the schedule.
They're just a flat under.
It's under for me, but I can see how they could be like respectable here.
Under the total.
Denver division winner for me.
Denver.
Kansas City.
There's no way.
Denver also seems like the team that would play for the division win here too.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
The AFC North. We will start with the division favorite, Baltimore Ravens. Mayo is back. They got a new coach. Derrick Henry's still there. Rashad Bateman, still, we don't know the consequences of his whatever the hell that he did, but he got arrested. So Jacoby Lane, move him up your fantasy boards, I guess, but they re-signed Zay Flowers to a bunch of money. Sneaky thing, their defense wasn't great last year. So maybe Minter can use some of these pieces. If they can get back to being a top 12 defense, they're a very scary team.
From my experience, Jesse Minter is really good with like shitty defenses or defenses that underperformed.
Here's the issue.
I mean, look at what happened in the Staley last year on that defense to day one of Minter.
Yeah.
But then how was Staley able to go to New Orleans and vastly improve their defense like overnight?
I don't know. Their opponents were shit. I don't know. There's circumstances. That defense was like horrific. He made capable players
a little bit better. Here's the issue with the Ravens. Their win total's 11.5. That's too many. It's an under.
I'm going to surprise you because
the Ravens.
I have the under.
Yeah, I have the under too. I think they'll be good. But that's a lot
I have
of
them
wins.
I have them as a wild card team. I don't have them win the division. I think they're okay, but
it makes it a hat trick. I'm quite surprised.
yeah,
I think it was an excellent decision for them to chart a new direction with someone who's sort
Very
of
necessary. That had gotten
familiar
stale.
with the culture and the organization and the people in it.
just things with John had gotten stale,
Well-
and it had for a couple of years. And they weren't making the move.
Well, because he's not, And if it was the other Harbaugh, he would have already been gone on to a new job.
And also he won a Super Bowl. Jim didn't, right? So like, there's all these reasons to hang on to him longer, but eventually everything wears out its welcome, and this one had.
But I found it funny that your point on the Giants, maybe just your Giants being at the top of the hate list, just like, oh, Harbaugh's no good anymore. Maybe he is fine and people tuned him out for 3 years and he just needed a new spot to be.
Maybe.
Because he historically has been a very good coach.
He used to be. Maybe again, but I'd say probably not.
But why not?
Because I think he had a ton of talent in Baltimore and they underachieved.
But if you said that he was 3 years too long, even good teams will tune you out.
Yeah, but you still have that top end talent. They should overcome that. No one in Philadelphia is listening to Nick Sirianni. They keep doing great.
Yeah,
so.
but give Nick Sirianni another 13 years on the job and see how that goes. And listen, they have underachieved, but a lot of that is Patrick Mahomes
I like the
based too.
Minter hire. I still think the sky, like the world of Lamar, but just like you talk about years where you got to put up, like this is the year he's got to put up.
It's the highest win total in the conference that we've discussed. The margin for error is essentially so small when the win total is that high.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose Lamar for 2 weeks, you don't hit the over.
Of course they can get by this. Like, no one is surprised, but I'm not interested in betting on
I agree.
it.
They improved their O-line at all? It was a bit civvy last year. First round guard.
Oh, they took, I wish the guy fell to me at 17. They got one of the safest guard picks. I feel like we've seen him forever. I can't pronounce his name. It's like Ioana from Penn State. A guy that like a year ago was projected to be like a top 4 or 5 pick.
It probably would have been if you weren't a guard.
Sure.
Yeah.
They drafted a perfect pick for them.
Oh, this is what people know this by the time this comes out. But week 1, Browns start Deshaun Watson, all of their starting offense. Week 2, Browns start Shadur Sanders, and all other starters are sitting outside of the rookie wide receiver. So it looks like it's going to be Watson in Cleveland.
I think so.
The Ravens, I mean, this feels like a 2-team race in this division.
Agreed.
The Bengals are up next. They're 2-1 to win. I mean, if you just blindly bet the Bengals under, you got screwed 1 year, and you're going to be okay.
I mean, what if...
All in.
You're all in on the Bengals?
All in. All in.
20-1 to win the Super Bowl. 10.5 is their over-under. Pure fading the Bengals every year has been a successful strategy because something will inevitably go wrong. Everything will make sense for every reason that they should be awesome, and they simply won't.
All in. They have a great
I'm
year.
a little, can I be honest? Just fair and balanced, and you're totally entitled. For all the heat I feel like my team takes, if we just like bubble the last few years.
So
and
you're,
like the
you're
consistent,
hold on. Are you bubbling back to when Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl?
Or when he went to the AFC Championship game the next year and got screwed out of the Super Bowl because of a call that the Chiefs got.
How many games have they won in the last couple years?
They went 9-8 2 years ago. I don't know what they finished last season.
Yeah, they've been in. Zach Taylor is the one who absorbs all of this heat. He's like, he's a bad coach. They should get rid of him, and they don't get rid of him.
Like, their guy is better than your guy.
I'm not. When we do our rankings, if we do them, he's ranked ahead
And he's
of my
been
guy.
more successful than your guy.
I'm
So why doesn't
talking
he get
about
the
the
heat?
teams.
Yeah, but like the Bengals, I feel like the Bengals do get heat for being like
Oh, yeah.
being poorly run.
They should because they have fantastic talent.
I think they get total free passes, and the attention is just on Emo Joe.
Well, I think Emo Joe, if it's not Trevor Lawrence, Emo Joe is my MVP pick for the season.
Not a bad pick.
No, I think
he's one of the 8
he's
guys.
got like a 5,000 passing yard season in him this season. I kind of think. I mean, they've got kind of 2 dead fish in the division, and they've got Baltimore, whose defense is kind of shaky, and a schedule that they can make some minced meat out of. So, like,
but can we at least acknowledge, like, one of the dead fish have a really strong defense.
And we'll see. We'll see with the new regime there.
And the thing about this division that we've seen historically is when they play each other, even the dead fishes are seemingly less dead. Like, that's just...
Yeah.
Take the 25-year sample. Now, obviously, there's games where there's
I would say there's
belt to ass.
2 divisions that are like this. It's the NFC North and the AFC North and the NFC East.
Yes.
We're like, oh, the Giants just beat the Super Bowl winning
Eagles
on a Thursday night. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I am if you're a Bengals fan, like, of course you get excited. Though, other than the goddamn head coach, who I think is the worst maybe in the entire league.
Well,
now that some people have been let go and will hold them back from reaching their ceiling, even with their MVP quarterback and skill position players. And I think the defensive player that they dumped wasn't even good for them. I think he was a selfish fuck.
You think Trey Hendrickson was a selfish guy?
I think he was hyper selfish and wouldn't even participate in playing run defense and would only be looking out for himself and his sack number. So I think literally just getting someone who's going to play the position, I think in totality, they can't get worse. They're going to make gains on that defense.
So
they traded. Every report out of camp this year has been anytime they play someone else, the defensive tackle they gave the first round pick for, they can't even run plays.
Dexter Lawrence?
They can't even run plays. They have to take him out so they can have a practice.
Because he's so disruptive.
He's ruining practice.
And
Good sign.
The greatest thing that kind of happened to them, and no one really noticed because they finished as the 30th defense in the league, like they were bad. In the second half of the year, they were like a top 10 defense. And they were so bad the first part of the year that if this defense can show up...
It's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys, but they seem like they're a little bit closer to actually being a little bit of a better... Cincinnati and Dallas, like I tried to make that mirror of Jacksonville and the Bears, that you're right. Dallas and Cincinnati are very similar teams. Very similar, except Cincinnati has a better quarterback.
Yes.
And I think Dak is good, but Joe Burrow's awesome.
Of course, but
And probably better receivers.
yes, sure.
Probably.
Probably,
Not
but
necessarily.
that's a probably
Yeah.
though. Like
Yeah.
I think that Jamar Chase is better than Lamb and Pickens, but I think that Lamb and Pickens are way better than T. Higgins.
I really like T. Higgins, but I'm
T.
biased.
Higgins is good, but he's not like those two are superstars.
Whatever. That's just they're in terms of like high end quarterback, elite wide receiver combo, a defense that it didn't matter how many points per game that they achieved last year, they were giving up more. And it had to be frustrating. And it's the same conversation. Just go from 30 to 22, 2018, and watch how much better everything tastes.
I believe it. I believe it.
Well, so I'm excited for the Bengals. If I am a Bengal fan, though, the thing you want me to worry about, this is the bet I would love to make. Who would leave their team first, Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow? And I will bet anything in this world it's Joe Burrow.
Well, it's Joe Burrow because the owner will be like, I don't want to pay all this money anymore.
And he's emo.
Well, it's sort of.
Sure, I guess you go on a 5-game win streak, you're less emo.
Yeah.
He's
And
just
it's also a part of his act too.
he has
Like he's a real personality.
He's one of the few quarterbacks that like has a personality. He's not robotic.
Yeah, like he has a personality. He didn't have to hire an Instagram model to give him a personality.
That's right. You know, after the national championship,
Justin Herbert's getting engaged. You know, it's his first ever girlfriend.
That would worry me. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's a joke. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But you know what? You could.
But Drake May, that was the case.
You
right?
couldn't. It's a joke. I believed it. I would not believe that about Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
That I totally get what you're saying, and the part of the joke was it has a believable leg.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow has the cool factor.
he does.
Like going back to the national championship, smoking that big cigar in the LSU
got swag.
locker room.
What's
He's
his
got
nickname?
Swag. Joe Cool.
You know,
But like he is. He's like the coolest NFL player we have seen in quite some time who has that type of
When
coolness.
Cust duffed a chip yesterday that went to 5 feet and then he made the putt, he told you he had so much swag it was falling out of his pockets. That's Joe Burrow all the time.
Cust was collecting swag off the green that dropped. Oh God!
I think it's gonna be a special year. The Bengals are gonna claw themselves.
But if
where they need to be.
if it goes backwards or there's injuries and it's sad Joe at the podium,
Oh well, it can go badly. But
Listen,
I'm
they're going to lose week 1 at home to the Buccaneers because that happens every
I
year that
hate
they lose
this
week
coach. I hate him.
They'll be woefully underprepared.
And yet if they
You
win
made
that
the
game,
you made the comment. I couldn't believe anything else to be more true than your comment to Pizzola about this team in the NFC North show. That Super Bowl, while like it's incredible for the resume and the equity that it gives everyone involved in it, it actually held the goddamn franchise back because they've held on to this coach because of that run.
Yeah, imagine they had a good coach.
yeah. I mean, some of it is like their problems have been injury plagued as well.
Sure,
Like,
but I mean, they haven't been able to
The
block for
problem
5
is
straight
more
years.
than that, like there's cheap teams. They're not. They pay a guy. They don't like firing a guy.
Like there's a world where the Bengals head coach could be Jesse Minter and Mike McDaniel could be their offensive coordinator.
yeah.
Like very easily right now. Ben Johnson could be their head coach. Instead they have Zach Taylor.
If they fired Zach Taylor, you don't think Ben Johnson is debating between them and Chicago?
Definitely.
Maybe like
Definitely.
that's the thing. They create the most attractive job in the league.
Well, I guess the other drawback
Is the Bengals
would be
and
the
the
Bengals would
owner.
be like, here's what we'll pay you. Half of what they're offering, but we'll give you this like voucher coupon.
If you'd like
to
to interview,
McDonald's.
if you'd like to interview, we'll reimburse you for half your flight.
Or it's like we'll pay you what you want, what the going rate is, but our like structure, our institution, our training facility, like we cut corners everywhere here.
Okay,
So
we'll
if
let you
that's
book the flight, but we get the air miles.
If this is the organized, remember they were trying to return a Super Bowl team and they just gave them hotel discount.
Yeah, they did.
codes?
They made them fly at their own expense.
Like, so a lot of coaches would rather just like you can go to the Broncos who are owned by Walmart
Yeah,
and
like-
they will spare no expense on like player health or nutrition and equipment. Or pick the Bengals. Like,
Yeah, when the player poll comes out in the Athletic at the end of the year,
32nd.
they're not going to be 32nd in childcare services for the team. only the Bengals will have that run, Brad. Apparently the Cardinals are very much the same way too.
But they're also apparently the Chargers got this for a couple years when they were building a brand new facility and we're in a temp facility. It's like almost not fair to what that does to those
like side pieces.
rankings. But it seems like a new trend across the league now. Everyone is at least starting to, if they haven't, like building these what are almost like these MLB spring training. The complexes like you can't imagine.
I went
what's
to
going on there.
with my first year with DraftKings. I went to week 1 for Sunday Night Football at the Dallas one. It's in Frisco, and like they have a hotel there. There's a football field there. It's like their practice facility. It is fucking great.
Oh, I bet.
Like it's a destination you can go to. The players would love to be there, and they did love being there.
The Chargers built this place called the Bolt. It is by all accounts the best facility in the entire league. But over the couple of years, it is. You could look it up. It's not even.
Many people have said that.
No, it's just brand new. So when someone else opens a new one, maybe next offseason,
It'll be nicer.
It'll be have newer, nicer things than this one. I don't mean they're nicer because the Chargers are willing to spend more than other people. It's just the newest house on the block, and it's done right.
10.5 is the total. I think they have bad vibes just because they're the Bengals until they get rid of Zach Taylor. So I'm taking the under.
Under for me.
Over.
Steelers 8.5 wins seems like a lot of wins for the Steelers.
Way under. Mike Tomlin is not there.
Yeah, that's my cap on this too.
Mike McCarthy, who I think gets a bad rap. He's a much better coach than people want to think or remember him as. If you look at his career win and loss record, it's actually pretty solid, and he won a Super Bowl. So for someone who gets very little credit, I actually think he's an all right coach.
Would we say if he was in like an Ozempic era, he wouldn't have had these problems?
I think
there's
that
something to be said for
if
that.
he was able to have monumental success. See, the reason that I don't think that he's a head coach is he had the best quarterback,
He doesn't get
top
any
10
credit for
quarterback of
Rodgers
all
or
time,
Dak.
and underachieved with a quarterback by winning one Super Bowl.
Agreed. He's a good coach.
But
He's not a great
as
coach.
bad as like the perception.
No, but
No.
but the way that it's like Super Bowl winner.
I don't think anyone talks about him that way.
But when he went to Dallas, they did. Like, oh, you know what he did? He spent the offseason learning analytics at Pro Football Focus. It turns out he didn't. That was just a lie.
So like he's not a
Yeah,
great.
that wasn't good for the like perception of him.
He's not
I
the
agree.
greatest coach, but he's not an outright coach. But there's just so little to work with there in Pittsburgh.
There's
just so little.
the truth on McCarthy is he's like not as good as the people who want to ride or die for him, which are few.
He's basically Jim Caldwell with good PR.
And a Super Bowl.
Because of the Super Bowl. But fucking Zach Taylor went to the Super Bowl.
I
He's
know.
still living off that. Like, you can only live off that for so long.
They have Rodgers at quarterback.
And you know
barely
what?
move.
When he won a Super Bowl, he had Rodgers as
Who can
quarterback.
barely move, and they have no running game, and they have no receivers with Pickens out the door that you've ever heard of.
They have DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman.
They have
Both
DK
hurt, mind you.
They have DK Metcalf. I'll say so. I'll grant you that. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
No, you're right. You're right.
You talked about the Colts and their amazing high flyers.
No,
You're like,
Metcalf's
probably because they got rid of Michael Pittman, right?
Metcalf's a very good player, but like,
Steelers.
Their defense will be good.
but not to win
not elite,
to win
but
9 games.
Roethlisberger was 11th. I'm trying to think in our like I'll say lives, but like the last 25 years, what's the lowest draft pick the Steelers? I guess they've had that win streak. They
Yeah,
never draft this. I'm expecting next April they have the lowest pick we've seen them have, and
Where did they
some time.
draft Joey Porter Jr.?
wasn't.
I think they traded for that pick.
Did they? I felt like he went pretty high.
I mean, I think I'll just tease the final two. I'm going 4 for 4 unders. I always cop out on this division. I go like one way or the other. I feel like when Pat adds them up on the end, Just get me out of this division neutral.
I have
I
unders.
don't have a clue.
I have Pittsburgh
But
unders and definitely
I'm
Cleveland
under
unders.
on Pittsburgh. I'll be honest, last year I lost a bit of money. I bought the Kool-Aid that it was
Talk about a
finally-
fluke team that
Oh,
found
they
a way.
weren't good.
No,
We saw that.
they got themselves a division and like they were just a fluky team all the way down the stretch.
And I lost a pretty penny on the win total, and I'm gonna lose it again.
But like they don't have Mike Tomlin. They don't have the infrastructure anymore. I don't trust them.
So their path is with Mike McCarthy coaching the offense, that their only play isn't throw it 4 yards.
But they don't have a quarterback who can throw.
I mean,
it
he
that
can throw it if you give him if you improve the offensive line enough, which I don't think that they did, and you gave him time. It's not like he can't.
He doesn't
throw-
want to get hit.
He doesn't, but he can still throw the ball 80 yards. If you gave him time, he could still sling it. It's just I don't think they're going to give him any
I
time.
don't know. I haven't been watching McAfee recently to see what he's been saying.
I don't know if you're joking or being serious.
I'm assuming he's still going on there weekly.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I only listen to Pat McAfee's rap album.
I don't know. I Steelers have bad vibes and the Browns have 0-17 vibes. So like I'm out on both these teams.
I have I listened to the McAfee album, by the way. I listened to all like 48 minutes of it. And I have my review of it. Now it's an F for me because I think this music is terrible. However, it doesn't sound any different than other music of that genre. Like if that's what you're going for, he did it.
So you're saying
It's just
that
not for me.
ESPN's going to be using that like for bumpers? during
Oh
Monday Night
yeah.
Football.
Oh yeah. It's another way to grease up the royalty deal.
I would say this quickly to give my 38 seconds is Pat's not like I don't watch Pat. He's not for me. Even when I say in season, like if Jesus, her name's top of mind. She won't be this year. But like if Rossini was doing 12 minutes with Eisen or Dan Patrick or Pelissero, I would go find that 12 minutes. When those same people are doing it with Pat, I don't even bother. It doesn't do it for me. Anything good that comes from the ones with like a Dan Patrick is more like nuanced and things that I care about. Anything decent from a McAfee one, just gets so much pub, and they're usually just bullying a reporter to give them more, which is good. But I'll just see the clip. The thing I don't understand about Pat, well, I'm impressed. He's like living an 8-year-old's dream. He wanted to rap. He wanted to be a WWE star. Like, that is so cool. To live the life you set out to live at 8 years old, and then even as other things happen, you create an opportunity to then live that life. Like, I 100% admire it, even though if he's just totally not for me. And then, like, a place like Outkick, because he's been taking so much heat because he's just like everywhere now. Outkick's out there tweeting like, you're a lib if you don't like McAfee. I'm like, that's the weirdest take. I don't hate McAfee.
Is that one of your lib takes this year?
Is that your lib take?
We were promised
we
many
can do
lib
this.
takes.
Buddy,
Jeff is going to be
the lib.
libs for McAfee.
I got plenty. We're too deep. But
We are too deep.
We're too deep. We're too many hours. I got lib takes.
Well, we have
for the
18 plus
the year
weeks
of
to go.
Jeff the lib.
I can't.
On
That
the
could be
show.
your segment, Jeff's libs takes.
After the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll get all.
I don't consume any of that content.
I don't either.
Not his. Just
I
like
had to
across
consume,
the board.
I had to consume it for 2 years.
And you watched every Aaron Rodgers.
I
thing?
had to find footage basically every week to see what they were talking about.
I do appreciate that he owns all.
But
of
now
his-
I don't have to care.
He got ahead of the game and owning all of his own stuff. It's the smartest thing people can do
Here's
is
the
own your own
thing
stuff.
that I like don't understand is how can someone who is now like fully establishment, you get paid all that money, it's ESPN, it's Disney, you won. Like he is the winner. He's the ultimate winner, life winner, as the live golf broadcast would say. It's almost like he, in a Michael Jordan sort of way, he has to create these people that like
Are
hate
enemies?
him
Yeah.
or enemies just to like, and he lives for it. He lives for it. But the whole like McAfee victim card is so goddamn nauseating. It's like when live players claim victim. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Because you keep the engagement going, and what you're seeing right now, you say like if people don't like him, you're a lib. Because now he's now at the stage where he's so established that he needs to be continuing to be polarizing. Now this is another way to polarize yourself, and then people continue to talk about you, and you make more money. That's how it works.
Of course, it's how it works. But, now he's doing Monday Night Football, which is fine. That doesn't bother me, him on a pregame panel. I barely watch
I'm not going to watch a pregame panel. You can have whoever you want on there.
I barely watch that stuff anyway. But anyone like that album, I think probably a lot of people say like took a lot of withdrawals from the, like a bank term, withdrawing money from your McAfee equity pot. And even if I come on the show, I say something so stupid and I'm looking at the audience, the equity you have in me diminishes. It diminishes. It goes down. Got to keep it level.
Works
maybe
the opposite for him.
Maybe you tell Pat, like you send him a message, I'm a fucking loser. Get me out of here. Don't want to hear it. And then a week and a half later, I say something you fucking love. And that equity pot, like, goes back up. The withdrawal that I feel McAfee took seems huge, but I don't think that matters.
It's not going to hurt him whatsoever. Here's why it could matter. Because part of his shtick is that he's like a person you might know, right? Mm-hmm. Just like any person on TV, that's always the personality that you want to convey that becomes the most relatable thing. The most relatable thing about this album would have been that someone that he knows would have told him, hey, dude, this is a fucking terrible idea.
You would hope that there are people in your life that would say, hold on.
Yeah, and then the fact that seemingly no one did this to him makes him somewhat unrelatable.
I actually unequivocally disagree.
You think if I came up with a project, it was no different than that stupid golf ad that we just saw, that how the hell did that make that through? No one said like, this is a bad idea.
So while I totally agree with you, I am actually fully confident. Pat, I don't know who Pat respects. It seems like in 2026, he respects people with a lot of money. And in the circles that he's...
Me or Pat McAfee?
Pat McAfee, sorry.
Me too.
Oh, sorry.
You're looking at me like
we're having the conversation. And I am certain there are people in his life, both, fellow broadcasters, even former players that he played with that made a lot more, well, at that time, made more money than him, that he respects, and probably told him, this is a really dumb idea. I think he looked them dead in the eye and said, I don't care.
I hope that's the case then.
My dream. And he also spun it where even if it goes horribly wrong, he'll be able to turn it into engagement. Like,
yeah, that's a bad cop out though. I hope that he was the one who says, I don't care, I'm doing this, and put it out there. But at least live with like, what the fuck is this, man? Like I said, we should have Cust Christmas carols. He's like Richie. If he wanted a McDonald's in his house at 8 years old, he would build the McDonald's in his house. He's living the dream. He went to and I admire that. I think that is so fucking cool. Even if I'm not a hater, but I'm not a fan. I can imagine doing what you thought about doing at 8 years old in your bed in some crazy way. It happens. There is, but he's still of the age where he can get away with this. Eventually, how old is Dave Portnoy now?
Yeah, and
Dave has had to somewhat change,
and he's kind of
because he started continuing with the frat stuff. Be like, dude, you're pushing 50.
And
man.
You want to know something? Dave doesn't really, other than a college football pick'em show,
do it.
He doesn't even do shows anymore.
Yeah.
He's kind of acknowledged that. It's just not
because it went so badly when people turned on him.
Yeah.
You're like, this is a bit much. You're like a billionaire.
Yeah, but it has to happen because you're still doing the thing you always did, and it was a bit of both. People turned on him. He liked being in Florida, not having to be at the office, being able to have people run the company for him while getting to drop in and out on the things that he wants. But you are right. Portnoy can't play the same script from 2014 at a Patriots Bills game.
Yeah. So eventually this McAfee stuff. How old is McAfee? 35?
I got no clue.
Or is he right around my age? Let's see. He is 39 years old. He's Cust's age. You and McAfee. You guys should have a show together.
29.
Yeah.
And it works. And it will work until he's 45, 46, 47. This frat guy shtick. And he'll have been around long enough too, in the main eye that it happens to everyone. There's the shtick goes you need to evolve the shtick, and maybe he does, and maybe that's the next chapter here. But eventually, people get sick of this. Everyone, there's no political divide that you can make. People will just be like, no thanks.
I am unequivocally past the age tier where I don't know anyone who's ride or die McAfee.
No, but and then all those people who are with him right now are probably 18 to 30. And eventually they're also going to be 30 to... It's no different than the age group of this audience. This show was way different fucking 15 years ago. and most people aged with us.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And we're talking about on a very small scale,
Of course.
of that audience. But once half that audience turns into like real adults, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this kind of sucks."
No, but obviously I wasn't comparing us to McAfee, but when I made even people in the content area for which you are in, there is still a bank of equity that you have built with your audience. And when you do something,
yeah, they're
you
like,
can't,
"Yeah."
that like they think sucks or isn't good, there you withdraw from that equity, and you can always get it back. You do other things they like. It, I just put out an extra Cust corner. The equity bank, can fill right up again. I'm not like that happens. I'm not comparing us to Pat, but it's the same. It's the same concept, just at way different levels.
Yeah. So Steelers under for all of us.
Sorry, this conversation is just not one that I'm particularly involved in, so it just doesn't interest me.
How about this one? When I made that bet with Cam about who's going to have the worst record in football, I was talking about the Cleveland Browns, 6-1 to win the division, 6.5 win total, plus 450 playoffs, 200 to 1 Super Bowl. How is this not? I am prepared to lose a lot. I have a very large wager
Yeah, I don't get it.
in on this
don't get it.
already. I'm trying to figure out which alt unders that I want to play.
Honestly,
I don't see it.
1-16 is right there. This team has a good defense, but their offense is so terrible.
They don't even have that good of a defense.
They don't have a
anymore.
quarterback. They lost
lose-
their best player. They replaced Verse, who's a lovely player, but he's not nearly as good as the guy they lost. I mean, there's nothing. 6.5 is famous last words. I think it's the most foolish line out there.
And their schedule is easy. Like you can go through it and find where those
But
wins come
they're
from.
worse than everybody.
If you were a fan, you're not a fan. But let's say you were asked, like, which roster would you rather, the Browns or the Jets, as you would prepare? What team would you rather GM to try to put the next quarterback in, the Browns or the Jets?
Ooh, probably the Jets. But I do think it's close. I think that your idea is right. There's the pieces are here. Here's the issue with the Browns right now. And I mean, I don't want to throw all the shade on the quarterbacks because I don't think the quarterbacks are good. I think Shitter's kind of shitty. I think Watson's shitty. Their offensive line sucks.
Yeah.
And when you have a bad quarterback, they're going to look even worse. Like, get all the playmakers you want. Fantastic.
How are they getting to 17
those,
points on a
like-
regular basis?
And their defense needs to be a top 3 defense to give them a chance in these games, and it's
And you
not.
can only win so many games, 20-17. You can't win 7 that way. So, no, there's no chance. Out.
Do you
Finished.
remember the game they played versus like San Fran last year in a windstorm?
I think it was like 4 years ago now.
I think it was last year because Shador.
I thought it was like week 2.
No, it was the end of this.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember them playing San Francisco last year.
They might have, but I don't remember. Anyway, under on the Browns. I think it's a pretty easy.
here it is. Yeah, the 49ers defeated the Cleveland Browns 26-8 on November 30th of 2025.
And it was like 8-0, and the 49ers kept turning the ball over, and like it just didn't matter.
Yeah,
It just didn't matter.
they're like the little Giants. They struggle to get a
there,
yard.
There was a Jets Monday Night Football game.
Again, yeah, I
I
know.
want to say like 8 or 9 years ago. And I think it was when Baker was still the quarterback in Cleveland. And people got really mad at them at one point because they punted from like midfield and they were up by 14 points. I don't think the Jets had a first down the
No,
entire
like,
game.
if
It was
you give it to them,
like,
they're-
who cares if this isn't right analytically? This other team is going to punch you the ball back.
Yeah.
Like it felt like one of those hopeless situations. So maybe Watson's fine. It's just I don't see how he can stand up behind this line.
Listen, last year's draft class was incredible. And the one that, by all accounts, I know it's easy to say in August or after the draft, the haul that they brought in this year got rave reviews.
Yeah,
So
but
they
Denzel
are-
Boston and KC Concepcion, that would be great when they have a quarterback who can throw with time to throw it to
Yeah, that's
him.
right.
Like they're the classic example. They had a terrible offensive line to begin with. They lost their best guys and brought in people.
They signed Zion Johnson.
Yeah.
Like the Chargers, desperate for upgrades. They signed the guy the Chargers thought, you know what, we need to move on from.
Hopeless. It really is this season hopeless for them.
And listen, maybe Schlesinger ends up with 380 million tackles this year, and he probably will because everyone's going to be getting tackled 9 yards down the field against them. And you're right, Jared Verse is a great player, but he's not Myles Garrett.
No.
And if Myles Garrett was really the only thing keeping this defense together in the first place,
He played amazing last season.
Denzel
and they
Ward's
won
getting
no
older.
games.
They traded Newsome last year to the Jags.
Yeah.
The defense is not elite anymore, and it needs to be elite to have a chance.
7 wins, yes, and it's just not there. Just not there.
Although the best story of the year, besides the Jets being really good for this show, I just think for the NFL in general, and I've said this multiple times, is Shadur having this like Tebow type run where he's like okay, but they just win every game.
They're winning, but like he's throwing screen passes that get housed.
Yeah.
They get they start drives on the 12-yard line.
Exactly.
Or and he has the one play per game where he throws it over the defense, being like, oh!
The other team, he throws a pick late. The other team misses the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, like
and it's just
and it would be so fun and so maddening because we'd all be betting against it, we'd all be losing, but the actual like story of it would be so much
the
fun.
Twitter discourse would be nauseating.
Yeah, it'd be
people would just be so. It's the thing that would just be argued with the worst faith by the worst faith
people.
by the worst actors on both sides of the argument that it would become the For You page.
Yes. I mean, anything Sanders does anyway is to the For You page.
It would be frustrating, yeah.
So under for me on the Browns, 6.5.
I took under in the whole division. I know that's impossible to go 4-0.
No, it's not.
But I do it just every year. I think I pick one way in this division, and it just protects me.
Fair enough.
I got no real vibes.
Browns under 6.5. I sent this off to CoolBet right now. This will be, by the time people watch this show, a PME exclusive boost. The Browns under 6.5 wins for the season. I will pick the Ravens to win the division.
Bengals.
Ravens.
Bengals, Ravens. Let's get to our AFC Championship game. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos as your AFC champion, and they will beat the Bills in the AFC Championship game after the Bills are up by like 17 points in this game, and then they'll just blow it. That's my pick.
I have the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans.
Who over who?
Buffalo over Houston.
Okay.
Go, Paul, go.
Bengals over Jaguars.
Bengals over Jags. That leads us to our Super Bowl pick. Denver over the Rams.
Seattle back-to-back over the Buffalo Bills.
Seahawks back-to-back over the Cincinnati Bengals.
And that will do it on the Win Totals preview show. I hope people enjoyed their 6 hours with us. There's a lot of hours to
come
go.
up in back-to-back days?
No, it's a week apart.
Okay, so they'll get at least a
Yeah,
breathe.
really. This really could have. We did like two Judge Cust segments. This could have been 2 shows.
Oh, easily.
At that where people will be like, "Oh, good, 2-hour shows. This is great."
But there's an extra week till football, so you got lots.
Yeah,
of
you got extra time to share the show around. Tell your friends about if there's. I thought the show went really well. Maybe people will disagree, but it had a bit of everything
It
that
did.
this show was going to be all year.
Always
It went
is.
off the rails. We talked some football.
Jeff and I had a side conversation.
I yelled
one
at you.
point. Yeah.
It's all here.
Jeff slapped himself.
Yeah, so there was beeps from both of
I was
you.
wondering what was going on. I'm feeling a little weird.
So if you ever want to,
I forgot about that.
if you ever want to help out this show, share this show around to your friends. Get them on board. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, whatever it is. Throw it all out there. Use Underdog. Use code Mayo. Coolbet.com. Hit the link in the description to get your bonus. Smash the like on the way out. Okay. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!